Yeah. Overseas with it. Niggas claim they hot, where they money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where they money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where they money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where they money at? Yeah. Niggas think they hot, where they money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where they money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where they money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where they money at? Yeah. Slipping on my pippin', nigga, never that. Always had more women than bitches, nigga, roger that. Money is the root of all evil, get the fuck back. We've been brainwashed from a fetus just to get scrapped, scratch that. Now I'm on a mission just to get dope. Physical or crypto, from the 9 to 5 or a kick dough. When shit get cold, like the hometown of Klitschko. Vladimir, your boys out of here with the sick flow. Now I ain't no rushing, but I'm rushing through this budget. I turn the booth into a gun, raise the way I'm busting. I caught the whole onion, then I got it from my cousin. In and out of traffic, toe tagger, we be hustling. I understand and shine first and realize your time worth. Can't be rich until you enrich your mind first. But I'ma be ignorant with my black ass and probably swipe my black card to blind black man. Yeah. Niggas say they hot, where they money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where they money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where they money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where they money at? Yeah. Niggas say they hot, where they money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where they money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where they money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where they money at? Yeah. That moolah, that cheese, that fettuccine, that guala is what a nigga after, so holla at me tomorrow. I'm looking for investors to throw some bread at the startup. Straight to the top, I'm cream of the crop with the product. Money isn't everything, but in this society, you gotta have funds to have fun, so don't lie to me. 153 million in fucking lottery. World keep spinning, I just mold it like fucking pottery. Fuck that poverty shit, my niggas gotta get rich. Hip hop over everything like hippopotamus clicks. Niggas wanna hate, that be on some anonymous shit. People wanna relate, they wanna be a part of my clique. We are not with the shits, the toilet did not get fixed. All less fail, every door come off the hinge. $1 million in my bank account, the sweetest revenge. 75% in the savings, making some sense. Niggas say they hot, where they money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where they money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where they money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where they money at? Yeah. Niggas claim they hot, where they money at? Niggas then ran up in your spot, where they money at? Strippers don't know you in the spot, where they money at? Fuck you, and that fake watch, where they money at? Yeah. Overseas with it.
Yeah. Black African power. What's good? What's happening? Well organized lie. Defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woohoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's God killing the house. And I'm coming to do what I got to do. And I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Hey, Bobby banging this bitch. Yeah, you know I've been birthday partying all weekend, but this is the damn day. I'm 57 today, man. And I'm here, man. And man, I got birthday presents from the experts. The gift that keeps giving. Now, I'm dropping the link early and often. Where the people at in the Discord, man? What y'all doing? Where y'all at, man? Take 5 minutes out, man. Dive on them, man. I done sent the link out. I'm going to drop it in the chat. We ain't fighting on my birthday. We celebrating. Experts. We got the African-American, Afrocentric experts. What is that? We got Chinese experts. We got Irish experts. All in Egyptology. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. And y'all know what, man? Let me tell y'all something, man. Like and subscribe on the channels, man. Oh, What tangle where we weave when we practice to deceive? Sometimes the rubber meets the road. I said sometimes the rubber meets the road. There's going to be times in this thing we do here, this thing of ours, YouTube land, the land amongst the novice, the land where everybody becomes a teacher just because they have a voice, the land where you can make up anything off the top of your head, and if you sound good, you can fumble bumble. That's where we at. That's exactly where we at. We're in that land. But you'll be able to find a space. You'll be able to find a place that stays close to the experts. And when you find those channels, coop up next to it. We finally got a chance after all the talking, the yappity yap, and all about this, and the throwing of tomatoes, and the throwing of bananas, and the breakup of friendships, and the and the hell with the consensus, and the hell with the experts. And you know, we talk to some experts behind the scenes. Oh, you know, they agree with us. You know, we got the African-centered experts, and we talking to them behind the scenes. Well, why don't you bring them through? Now, they don't want to do all that. We done heard all of that. Oh, I'm going to slap you through that gun. See, in an intellectual conversation, we do a lot of chatty chat because it's intellectual gunfighting, and we do it in a way that's high-level, extraordinary nonsense at time. We do that. But when you get to the point when you start threatening to slap a brother, the contest is officially over with. So the contest's been over with for weeks. Contests and friendships been over with. And it's my birthday, and how in the hell is the gift that keeps giving? We got it. We got the backstage conversations that don't nobody want y'all to hear. We got that. We was there. I'm threatening them. Now, if you don't want us to put out that conversation, put your guns down. Put your guns down. You're surrounded. Come out with your hands up. Let's say it again. Throw your guns out. You know how the posse surround you? They're like, throw your guns out. You're surrounded. Stand down. We've heard from the experts. You are officially surrounded. Y'all know who they is. Scamwells, Dr. Seuss, and Robert Clown. You're officially surrounded. The only chance you had was the African-centered community. And they have spoken, and we got it. Now, I'm going to get ahead of this. I'm saying I won't put it out if y'all play nice and go back into your corner and start making the statements proper. I'm not saying you need to agree. You need to say, well, this is our personal research, and it has not been checked by the experts, and the experts on our side don't agree. But we want to keep working hard, and maybe we can get to it. Y'all got to say it, but all that pseudo-killer name in the title, all that Bobby Bangish trash, all that. Come out with your hands up. You're surrounded. Oh, what tangle where we weave when we practice to deceive. We're going to find out who is more close to the experts. Gala, Geechee, what's good, man? What it do? I don't know how this thing on here. This is crazy. He fell out the thing. Gala, what's good? Why did she put this in? I don't know how they set this up like this. It's good,
What's
bro.
good with it? What's good with it, bro?
Man, you
And we warned them, man. Now they rambling. Now they screaming for their life. You know what I'm saying? People got pistol whipped, and now they thinking they leopards and panthers, and thinking we monkeys, dead monkeys, and all time. Man,
Oh man, is they running and scrambling, bro?
yeah, they running and scrambling, man.
Them experts came out with the big guns on all. We have the African American community experts, so you can't say y'all just dealing with the white people. We have Chinese experts, doctors, qualified, weighed on the subject matter. You have the Irish descent, and Coptic DNA weighing in. What do y'all think they said? Now, I know it's a conspiracy flying out there. Why is this doing that? I know it's a conspiracy flying out there that clearly says, well, you know, they hiding that from us. They don't want us to know the truth. Whenever y'all hear that, you know they're scamming. You know it. You know they're scamming your intellectual property. That's all we mean when we say scamming, is there's an intellect that we have that we're trying to build, and someone is taken away from that by not being forthcoming. Now, everybody has the right and the ability to read and write, and everybody has the right to actually make statements and do their own research. We're not taking that away. No, we're not. Brother Garfield, how you doing? Thanks for the birthday gift, bro.
Peace and love. I got another one for you. Wednesday, last night's interview is going to be up.
Forgot about that.
Last night's interview is another birthday gift. If you want me to play it tonight, I could do it tonight.
Yeah, it's my birthday, yo. You got to play it.
Play it tonight. I'm going to play it tonight. That's another set of data. These conversations are on a whole nother level. But I do want to say something, right? When Dr. Kara Cooney said that the ancient Egyptians, some of them could be black. African Americans are black. People are saying, "Hey, you know what? You lost the conversation." This was before you jumped on, and I'm laughing because we never said ancient Egyptians were not black per se, or look like us, or some of them look like us. Nobody's discussing that. We're just saying that type of terminology to be used. Egyptians, ancient Egyptians, didn't use it themselves. So all this time, these guys are running around on saying Kemet, the black people, when she clearly pointed out, this is where the conversation was over, that Kemet is only the place near the flooding of the Nile, the soil, has to do with the soil, because there's also Desheret, which is the red land, which has to do with the deserts, which is also a part of Egypt. So ancient Egypt and Kemet is not the same geographic wise. I hope people understand that. That already moved the conversation way beyond what these pseudos been saying. Because if you look at Egypt now, and you look at the Nile River, where it overflows and form that black silt that she talks about. Remember, we asked her to say it again. That was conversation, game, set, and match. We're not saying that ancient Egyptians didn't look like Ankh, that it didn't look like Garfield, it didn't look like anybody at all. What we're saying is that different people, it's a different groups of people. You can't tell. You can't tell if they look like light brown as Kara Cooney did or dark as Garfield. You don't know. You weren't there. But based on it, we know they're indigenous Africans. They're African people. That's what we know.
Man, everybody know what the conversation was, man. We not playing this in between game. Look at Reggie. Look, he still look what Reggie say. Look at him. I'm threatening y'all, Reggie. Your peoples came out and spoke on the issue. I'm threatening you, Reggie. Now I don't have to let it out. We don't have to hear. Hold on. Where the hell is my phone at? Did I lose my? Somebody that came and grabbed my daggone Reggie. Listen, Reggie. Listen, you my man, bro. But look. Yeah, play that interview tonight, man. Wow. Bruce.
Yeah.
Dr. Bruce.
That was a hell of an interview.
Dr. Bruce on my birthday.
Oh man, you know what? Let me change it because I booked it for Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Let me change it right now. Let me change it right now.
Did he say that? Is that what that man did? Did he put that together like that?
Yeah. You know, and by the way, too, you do know that you can schedule on StreamYard and they just play the video. You don't even have to be there.
Yeah, they just do it and play it.
Yeah.
They just do it and play it. Hold on, I thought I sent you the link. All right, so talking to you, Reggie. Dr. Deborah Hurd has spoken. Dr. Deborah Hurd has spoken. That's on your side. Oh man, I see you, Brad. See Brad showing off. Let me do it. Let me do it and put the star on it. I see you, Brass. That's some love right there. It's that happy birthday love right there, bro. You say, what day is your damn birthday? Is every day your birthday? I say, it's the week. It's the week. It's the weekend. It's like, oh, you know, black people celebrate on the weekend. I got gifts for days. We got Dr. Bruce. We got Dr. Kirko. We got, look, watch this. Look. From the University of Chicago, Department of Anthropology, Dr. Deborah Hurd. Die!
Die, motherfucker, die!
I'm threatening y'all for that. Calm down.
For some reason, I can't change it. I don't know what I did wrong, but I'll figure it out, though.
No, you know when you hit a shot, game winner, you do like this. That's what you do the crowd. So I'm like this. My chest all the way out here. See it, Garfield? My chest all the way out here.
Yep. And
see, this is what I want. This is what I want y'all to do. And Garfield, look, bro. You didn't have to let me in on the interview. You called me up. You say, bro, what's up? We got the Egyptologists. What's up? I don't know where I'm like, you be like, what's up? See, that's what a friend do.
Yep.
Then yesterday, you like, come on, bro. This is it. I'm gonna read his bio. What's his bio? Look, let me show y'all why y'all stay in trouble. Right?
With the perfect dude. The perfect dude for this conversation. That's why y'all stay in trouble. Matter of fact, Reggie loves this dude.
No, not after that one. He don't. He's gonna get away. He's gonna stop.
Yes, she did say the Egyptians were black, but she said not all of them.
That ain't even how she. That ain't even come. But we know what the like black is, and we explained that. That's why I say, hold on. Let's get real precise. The American standards do all that, right? They see they like I said in that interview. They're gonna hear what they want to hear. There. See, see, they only heard what they want to hear. So, whose side y'all gonna take? Y'all gonna go with Deborah Hurd, Dr. Deborah Hurd, Cooney? Choose.
How
about Dr. Wayne?
Reggie calling him now. Hey, this guy Garfield call don't do no interviews, man. Don't do.
Yeah, it get too late. It's too late, bro. It's too late. It's too late. Let me put this up here on the screen. Look, this is what we doing. Y'all hit the link, man. This is a celebration, man. I can't believe this. How did the war get over with that? It's over with. The game is over with. I appreciate, all the content. I appreciate all the, the talk crazy, you know what I'm saying, and all that. Okay. Appreciate all that. Let me put this up here. Let me show you something. What we did last night. This is what we did last night. And I'm saying, appreciate you, Garfield. That was high level right there, bro. That was high level right there, yo. That was definitely high level. Let me show y'all something. Fits right into the conversation. Once again, man, shout out. Brass. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man. Hold on, let me get that right.
Scarab Chronicles, big up yourself.
Huh? What?
It's for the $5.
Scarab Chronicles, man. Yeah, man, that interview was spectacular, man. Garfield set that up, man. Garfield surprised me, man. Got on his nerves. Man, you got to play that. Nope, not gonna play yet. Nope. You set me up, Garfield. You was waiting for the birthday, yo. You tripping. Set me up, yo.
Yeah,
set me up. Here you go, right here. Look, this is the conversation we had last night, and then we're gonna get right into the game footage on y'all, man. Hit the link, man. Here you go, right here, yo. UFC Davis Jewish Studies program. Okay, is a scholar of racial and ethnic relations in urban communities. Bruce Haynes' work seeks to understand, the process of racialization and the consequences of racial classification, for creating community boundaries, particularly within an urban context. You just stop right there, yo. So he's talking about how the racialization yeah, I'm saying, creates boundaries. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. I say, man, why y'all playing colonization? Why y'all doing that? Why y'all and the experts all said it. I'm saying, was they actually tuned in? Oh,
I'm interviewing him about Judaism and his book. Well, he's an actor. I said, yo, he's a sociologist. He's perfect. The shit right in time for your birthday, bro. Let me try to get this played today, man. Get another double whammy, man. Let me do a double or nothing.
Come on, you double whammy them, yo. You double whammy them, man. Hey, Reggie, listen. Look at Reggie. Look at him. Look. High level without meta nature. Look at that. What did he say? The Nubians can be. What did he say? What about? Okay. Somebody get Reggie. Somebody go get Reggie.
Funny? She ended the whole dialogue the beautiful, man, when she talked about we are operating like we're the colonials, the colonizers. Man, that we should take a reflect and say, you know what, we arguing for this blackness, where the colonizer is the one that gave you that term to call yourself. Think about that for a second. We fighting over black, but who told you that was your name? Who told you that? It's a racialized term.
Man, look, we're gonna do Reggie a solid. Hey, Reggie, look, it's over with, yo. Before I do that, I want to show y'all something. This Reggie and them. Let me share the screen for y'all. This Reggie and them. All right, I'm telling y'all, it's over with, right? Right? Y'all gotta be able to say it honestly. Do y'all know who this is? Read this for me, Garfield. Who is this, Garfield?
This is Hiroo Onoda.
Do y'all know who this is? Do y'all know who this guy is? Let's come to this guy. Military service. Nope. Time and hiding. Can you see it, Garfield? Do I gotta make it bigger for you?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Go ahead.
Onoda continued his mission, initially living in the mountains of Lubang Island in the Philippines with 3 fellow soldiers, Private Yuichi Akatsu, Corporal Shoichi Shimada, and Private First Class Kinshichi Kozuka.
That's Reggie and the boys and them and smashing them. That's them. Keep going.
During his stay, Onoda and his companions carried out guerrilla activities and engaged in several shootouts with the local police. Mm-hmm. Nada, along with his fellow soldiers, allegedly killed up to 30 Filipino civilians on Lubang over 3 decades. During and after World War II.
Yeah, so the war's over with, yo. These dudes still shooting. Keep going.
The first time they saw a leaflet announcing that Japan had surrendered was in October 1945. Another cell had killed a cow and found a leaflet behind by islanders which read, "The war ended on 15th of August. Come down from the mountains." They distrusted the leaflet and concluded that it was Allied propaganda, and also believed that they would not have been fired on if the war had indeed been over.
Hold on. So the war is over with. We've been fighting for 5 years. They surrounded. We saying, throw your guns out. They don't believe it. They say it's propaganda. All they sources that they claim they had has turned against them. It's over with. They signed the treaty. It's over with. But these dudes is still going to fight. And I'm saying, be on the lookout for shady characters acting like they won and the Egyptians is black. Be on the lookout. Keep reading.
Toward the end of 1945, leaflets were dropped by air with a surrender order printed on them from General Tomoyuki Yamashita of the 14th Area Army. To the men who had been hiding for over 6 months, this leaflet was the only evidence they had that the war was over. Onoda's group studied the leaflet closely to determine whether it was genuine and decided it was not. One of the 4 soldiers, Yuichi Akatsu, walked away from the others in September, almost over 4 years later, and surrendered to Philippine forces in March 1950. After 6 months on his own, this seemed like a security problem to the others, and they became even more cautious.
Freeze.
In 1952, 7 years later, letters and family pictures were dropped from an aircraft urging them to surrender, but the
Urging y'all.
soldiers concluded that this was a trick.
Oh,
Come on out, guys. It's okay.
come on, man. So it's not a trick. It's not propaganda. It's not. We're not. 1972. Look.
While he and another part of the girl that were burning rice that had been collected by a farmer, Onoda was alone at that point. Wow.
Let it go. Listen, man. Listen, bro. All that what y'all think y'all doing, man. We appreciate the scuffle. We appreciate the fight and the pushback, yo. We actually appreciate that, y'all. We do. At this point, this stuff can only happen. There's Reggie right there. He's still talking trash. Let me bring up one of his scholars, right? Can you read that quote? What is Reggie saying?
High level without the Medjugorje. What about Kem Nehesi? The Nubians can be black.
Here you go. Let's look it up. Let's go straight to it. We're getting them out of here quickly these days. Here we go. All right. What y'all want to do? Non-value collective. Did we have some individuals that was on it? I think we did. Yes, we did. Okay, let's see. Was the ancient Egyptians African? You notice they don't say black. You know, Jabari ran around in circles and played the whole game on Sarnetta show about this. Well, let's go to the term Nehesi. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's get right there. Hold on. Let me see. Oh man. Hold on. Let me get right here to the term Nehesi. We're gonna get right to it. We're gonna see what
our experts.
That's what the experts say. Here you go. Look. Here you go. Reggie just said it, right? Playing that game, right? The
Egyptian word Nehesi, which refers to a Nubian person, correspond to a skin color identity of black.
What that say?
This is what our scholars say. Our scholars.
Look like me and you. Go ahead. What does it say?
The word Nehesi
is that in gray though? Did they put it in gray? Because they knew Reggie was gonna try to act like it did. They put it in gray for Reggie. No. Keep going. No, what? What is that?
The word Nehesi is related to the verb to bite or to sting, like an insect. It referred to Nubian people because of their famed skill at archery, as a pun on the sting of their well-placed arrows. Another suggestion is that Nehesi is related to the verb to implore a deity and may reference the renown of Nubian magicians and the incantations they made.
All right, here you go. This is Cheeky Sandro Capo. All right, that smash people. on etymology of the Egyptian word Nehesi Nubian. What's that? NAC, Journal of African Culture and Civilization. And then here's another, this day friend, Stuart Smith, Ethnicity, Construction of Self, and Others in Ancient Egypt, Journal of Egyptian History, 2018. There you go. It's over with. Reggie, get out of here with that. Go call them up. Go secretly email them and tell them to change their position. See how quick it was again. See, that's what's gonna happen now. They're out of here quickly now. We don't gotta go to back and forth no more. Out of here very, very quickly. Let me remove this comment. You died just that fast. Crazy. What? What is this right here? Track field and well, you can't even spell. Ruckus. No, they wrong. They like white power. White. It's just crazy. You see that?
White African power.
You see that? You see that?
And he's a Cowboys fan. You definitely are.
Oh yeah, and you're delusional. you're still delusional from that. Out in the first round. You out in the first round.
Oh man, that is funny.
That is slick. Let me put you out of here. Time you out. Put you in time off. I don't like the comment. Too slick. Yeah, I don't like that. I ain't dancing for nobody. We relying on the experts, man. That's what we doing. Look at Reggie. Okay, have some fun. Reggie, do you want us to release the video? I know you don't want us to release that video. Don't do it, Reggie.
Send me that video, man. You know I ain't holding nothing back, but send me the video. I told Garfield not to put it out.
Man. Y'all still playing? I know y'all.
I got Manfred Betax interview too. He going on this craziness too, and I got a couple of Egyptologists lined up, man. I got some stuff lined up. Yeah.
American Dream. I don't have problem with feminists at all because I can read. I know what a feminist is. Y'all probably don't. I can actually read. Y'all just can't read. That's the
What up,
issue.
brother Law? It's your brother Law in the building. What up? What up?
Brother
dude?
Lau, what's going on? Now that's
The first
Gullah.
comment on the video, by the way, that somebody just posted. They said, "What makes these doctors more credible than Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, and Sheikh Anti Diop?"
They're dead. That's the difference.
Simple as 1, 2, 3.
They're dead. That's the difference, yo. That they can't, whatever they said is stuck right there. They can't change it. These experts here can change their opinion. They can reevaluate the evidence. The people you just named are actually dead. They can't do anything. They can't. Only thing we can do is go back in their work. That's it. They don't have a chance to rewrite it. They don't have a chance to watch the upgraded information, the ever-changing fields, the adding of DNA and genetics. They don't have a chance to look at this picture. They don't have it. So that's the difference. The experts we brought them from different realms. We brought it from the Afrocentric realm, right? Nile Valley Collective. We brought it from European Egyptologists, and we brought Chinese Egyptologists. That's all we did. And none of them said what y'all was saying. None of them. Now, I'm going to hold back on the African-centered scholars for a minute. I'm going to hold back. If y'all play nice and just tell the people the actual truth, that this is our private research, right? We have no experts actually agreeing with it yet, but we're pushing to get it out there. And maybe we can all work together to help to get y'all work in front of somebody. See, we can work together on that. I'm not a hater. I'm a participator. But all this talking crazy, gonna slap this person just because we're in heated conversations, all that is out the door, man. That don't even make no sense, man. This is fun for me because I already know I'm gonna stay close to the experts. I see, this is the difference between me and everybody else, Garfield. And I know you do the same thing, brother. When I say based off of my research, please let me know how far away from it I am or how close I am. Such and such, such and such, such and such. That's what I don't skate around. I go straight to it. I go straight to it. Everybody else, though, well, stammering and stammering. You also see that in the video. Stammering and stammering. They was all in the building, y'all. They had a chance to be in front of their champions, right? The ones that supposedly support what they saying, and they was stumbling and stammering and scared to death. Yeah. Robert Clown. Oh, great ye magi. Where are you? Boy, I tell you. Boy, I tell you. Interesting right there. I'm appreciating that. All day, every day. Let me see where we at right here. Let me see. All right. Hey, Ware, appreciate you. Hey, Taurus, you always showing love, man. Gross, man. That's some love right there, man. Mr. Milk, man, I appreciate you. That's love right there. There you go. There you have it. Look, now we asking the wrong question. You're a ball of tricks. When asking an expert if the ancients just were black, you're asking the wrong question. Ask what does Come on, Reggie. We did all that, Reggie. Reggie, you got to stop. Hey, man, get that Discord link, man. Hit the link. Dive in. Got 110,000 people in the building. All right. Come in, show some love, man. Show some support. Show some disagreement. Yeah.
Oh, I got that book, by the way. She talked about ancient Egyptian society. Matter of fact, let me send it to your email right now.
That one. You got the ethnicity part there?
The one with Sarkita. Sarkita wrote that just for that book.
Oh, yeah. Hard. They ain't moving no goalposts. Shout out to the pseudo killers, man. Juju, pseudo killer ladies. Miss Tiff, appreciate you.
I'm gonna send it to Amira Squad 9. Is that okay?
Huh? That's fine.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. John Jones. Omar Reed. He'll say there's a universal named. Yeah, I agree. Zoo. Yeah. Oh, how great was Shikani Diop? I mean, nobody take that away from you. Far better job than me, bro. I ain't nowhere near him. Nah, I ain't nowhere near him. Simple. Nowhere near close. Nope. Ain't trying to say that. Nope. Not gonna take away that. Nope. I see you, Black Line. What you saying? Ah, man, you talking crazy. Talk crazy in that building. All right. Let me cue it up. Let's hear it. Let's hear what she said. For all y'all that missed it, right? I want to hear it drop a little with some comment there. What did you say? I wish one day I can take a walk through the Met with you. Yeah, don't go in there with just Reggie, yo, because he ain't gonna read the thing, yo.
Oh, stupid.
He ain't gonna read the thing. Cause he knows so much, yo. He gonna be talking. You like, come on, Reggie, I want to read the thing. What's up, Gullah? What's wrong with your thing,
Good
man?
with it, bro. Happy birthday. Man, my bag kept jumping in. My wife kept calling me. She in New Orleans. She had to check in. So, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Check in with who? What you talking about? She ain't gotta check in with you.
Yeah, you gotta check in with me. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everything's safe. Shoot.
Better
She
check in. Huh?
She left the gun at home. You know?
He's stupid. Hey, I gotta jump off. Gullah, what's up? I gotta jump
Appreciate
off.
you, bro.
You, man. All right, peace.
All right, appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Hicks,
man.
what's going on with you, man? Yeah, did
man,
you
I'm
get a
glad.
chance to check out the video?
Oh yeah, man. That was phenomenal, man. I knew it was gonna be a good one. Especially with Cooney, because Cooney, she breaks it down more. She gets personal with you. So you know what I'm saying? It's like talking. It's like you talking to her or even listen to her. It's like she's one of them scholars where she's down to earth and she really get to understand the concept. What she's talking about.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This where we at. Let me put the first stage of the interview when I asked the magic question. Let's see.
Remember, they use her. Remember, they misuse her.
Yeah, they tried to. That's why I asked that question. What do you mean when you say Buy American Stand? I go straight to it, Gullah. You feel me, Gullah? We don't play. Let me play the video.
An understanding in the community.
So interesting.
February, yeah. So for February, we doing a lot. And one of the controversies about that's going on in the community for the past 3 years, I've lost many friends over this conversation, and my brother here is beefing with some of his best friends. The whole thing about who were the ancient Egyptians? Were they black? Should we call them black like we call black today? As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me take a step back. I'm going to allow my brother Ong to answer this question because he specializes in this area better than I do. But my brother, how would you answer this question that's going on in the community right
now? Well, first of all, I specialize in deferring to the experts. That's really my specialty. Let's get that straight. Yeah, I'm just a guy that picked up some books and started to understand academia. But for me, once I realized after the human genome was mapped out, I think 2003, and I started to recognize the social constructs, how race is a social construct, I started looking at things a little bit differently. And skin color is not a good indicator of ethnicity. I learned that too. And so when I looked at the Nile Valley, and my conversation was they actually African? It never was they black. So now when I see like the Boston Museum and the Brooklyn Museum, I finally see it. They say, well, they're indigenous Africans. So what do you say that is it better to classify them as indigenous Africans, right? We know they, you got Nubia, Levant, all those areas, right? And or is it better to call them black? I personally feel like my argument is that they are indigenous Africans ranging in skin color, has nothing to do with being mixed, because Homo sapiens sapien is the mix. So for you, in this conversation, you the tiebreaker. I want you to know that the pressure is on.
Don't do that to Dr. Cooney.
I gotta put it on sheet. I gotta do it. So what is it? What is better when we're dealing with academia? What term is better?
So
Indigenous African or black?
I'm going to go with African first of all, but
Okay.
there's some things to set up. And just so if your listeners want to do some extra research, I have a colleague, African-American colleague, Shamarka Keita, who's written in a volume that I edited called Ancient Egyptian Society. And it's a paperback with Routledge. It's not too expensive, but you can get it at your library too. I think it's like, $30 something. It's not the end of the world, but he's got an article in here and it is called Ancient Egyptian Origins and Identity. And he breaks down he's a medical doctor and a PhD in Egyptology. So that's a bit of a unicorn, right? He lives in Washington, D.C., and he breaks down the idea of what is race, what is ethnicity, what is skin color, what words should we use, and how should this actually work. And I've learned a lot from him about how we should be talking about these things or can talk about these things and what kinds of things are possible to discuss in the ancient world. But let me start out with something that I think is super important. And one reason that when this is discussed in social media, Native Egyptians lose their minds and get really upset. Have you noticed this?
Yes.
Yes. So number one, the word black in Arabic, and everyone in North Africa is speaking Arabic, right? Because of elite replacement and the Arab conquest, if you want to call it that, of the 7th and 8th centuries. They might be speaking French. That's another occupation and another conquest. But North Africa is a place where Arabic is spoken alongside Chadic and Berber and things like that. In Arabic, the word black has not been radically reclaimed by people. It is a negative word. It is a word with stereotypes of servility and slavery attached to it that is a problematic word. Nobody wants to be called black like they do here. So here we're now capitalizing the word black and we're talking about black culture in a very positive way. This is not something that you're going to see in North Africa. You might see it in Central and Southern Africa, but you're not going to see it in North Africa and Arabic, right? Okay. So the way the word is perceived in Arabic is in a hyper negative way, as if you're putting somebody down. It's very problematic. That's problematic in and of itself, but we'll start with that, right? Okay. Now then attach that to.
I would just like to make this point. She was a tiebreaker. What I've learned about experts, you can't lead them nowhere. You end up like a Sahotep with that double back on. You say, was you trying to say that? I'll play that too.
Oh, yeah.
Experts don't let you do that because they're experts in their career on the line. Meaning they got to put out good material. They can't just fly off the lips and say anything like we can say. See, y'all can act like y'all won the conversation and come back the next day like Voltron or something. You know what I'm saying, Gullah? Act like they didn't say you heard them say it. Mm-hmm. But that's not how I work with professionals, yo. They put their careers on the line to do these interviews. They have to stay accurate in their approach. Can't lead to no damn where. She's teaching right now.
Yeah. And what's crazy, she came to full circle. She said she went to Quieta. We already rock with Quieta. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Trying to tell them they don't even understand what Samantha Quieta is saying. They don't even understand that.
Yeah. And it makes sense. And it makes sense to what she's saying for that culture, for them to think of anything of darkness to be evil. That's a Abrahamic religion thing. Like they think they have a dualistic philosophy in a lot of Abrahamic religions. Like even if you look in Arabic culture, when you look at the genie or the jinn, which means the demon, or even like the genie in the mythology, they always depicted as being dark or evil or something. You know what I'm saying? So anything of that nature going to be looked at as something, outside of light or outside of greatness in that society.
Yeah. And that's a great point you make there, Black Lion, because you're absolutely right with that statement. All right. All right, let's move on. And let me put up one more silly comment. This is a silly comment. She agrees without agreeing because she knows y'all slow enough not to overstand. Whenever you see a person use overstand, Malachi Yoki. Oh man. All right,
Yeah,
let's move forward.
that's either Malachi York or you some type of Rastafarian or something.
Yeah. Overstand. You stand up over top of, you can see everything. You hit it with, what about underneath of it? Let me stop. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, because the over is just the surface. It's just the surface shit. You know what I'm saying?
The United States understanding of Blackness, in which people were brought against their will in large numbers to act as unpaid labor to found the country of the United States of America with their bodies. Yes. And that way of separating populations and saying these people are enslaved and these people own them, or these people are, the population was separated in such a way that we created things, very cruel social systems in the United States, like the one drop rule, with which both of you and everybody listening is very familiar, that you just need one small part of being Black and then you're all Black. Correct. Right? Correct. Now, you go and talk to an African person, particularly a North African person, and you say, oh, are these people Black? And they'll be like, well, first, we don't like that word. And please don't use that word. This whole Black thing, we don't, it's a very problematic word, post-colonial in particular. And second, they'll be like, what you guys are calling Black is not what we call Black. And because if anyone is mixed race, which I think is a term we might apply to many Black Americans, people of African descent in the United States, or I know Jamaica is also a homeland, and there you might have mixed race people. And then a North African would actually understand that better, but would not apply the word Black to it. So there's so many misfires and miscommunications between a Black American community and a North African community, such that, and I'll add to this, the very problematics of what patriarchy does when it tries to claim a culture. When patriarchy goes in and tries to claim a culture, they say, oh, Egypt is all Black, or Egypt is all this or that. And those patriarchal claims, those more old school 1970s, 1980s Afrocentric claims do not go over well in Egypt, because then Egyptians, and you can go onto social media and see people lose their minds.
She called y'all the patriarchy. Them old 1970 ideas where you try to make Egypt all Black or try to make Egypt all white. It's not flying no more. They saying we ain't none of that. Very interesting now. It do be males going hard like that. The patriarchy. Boy, I tell you, man. Man, it's, listening to a good teacher, man, help edify you if you studied up. By now, we all should be familiar with the conversation and can actually catch the flow of what she's saying. You want to add something to that real quick, Gullah? She's kicking it right now. She's cooking with hot grease right now. All right, let's keep it going.
Are like, they're stealing our culture. How dare they steal our culture? This is a theft of culture. And so if one coming from the African American perspective could understand the charged word Black in Arabic, that would be helpful. And if they could understand that imposing a post-colonial one-drop rule that is created in America is a very American chattel slavery created thing, then I think there would be better communication between both sides. Because my answer, if I'm going to go back in time and get in a time machine and answer your question for you, which is, were the ancient Egyptians Black? I would say with the definition of black, and we use the word African, I mean, all ancient Egyptians are African, but Egypt is a confusing place because it is on the crossroads of three worlds: the African world, the Mediterranean world, and the Levantine West Asian world. And Egypt is there for people to cross the Sinai and go from West Asia to North Africa. Egypt is there on the Mediterranean for people to connect from Greece and the Italian peninsula and beyond into Egypt. And Egypt is there in Africa to connect with the rest of that massive, biggest continent that we have on planet Earth. And so there's a lot of mixing. So when people get into Egypt, are they African? Well, they're African now because they're there. But it means that throughout the thousands of years that Egypt has been considered a state, or before you had a state in Egypt, you already had a tremendous amount of mixing between peoples of different ethnic backgrounds, different genetic codes, just a lot of mixing. It's why Egyptian people are so beautiful, because heterogeneity is shown to make a more symmetrical face. But it's just a lot of mixture. And then one could ask the question, did the ancient Egyptian phenotype of skin color, which seems to be something people are very interested in, change through time? And the answer would, of course, be yes, because Egypt is occupied so many times after the Bronze Age by different types of people, starting with the Bronze Age collapse, and you get all these sea peoples coming in from across the Mediterranean, northern Mediterranean, Greek mainland, places like that. You're going to make Egyptian lighter, in at least in the north, but probably in the south too. And then you're going to get an invasion from, or an occupation from Ptolemaic peoples in the 3rd and 4th centuries. That is going to make BC, make Egyptian lighter in a sense. And then you're going to get the Arab invasion, and you're going to have that occupation from West Asia. You're just going to bring in another admixture. You're not like changing the population, but you are creating a different
dynamic
mixture within the population. And how you track that, I mean, good luck with genetic tests. But that was a lot. That was a lot. So I'll throw it back to you guys.
See?
It's complicated. It's a lot to it.
See what I'm saying? Just add admixture to the population. We've been trying to, Gala, how long you been saying that? Seriously.
A long time, bro. Since the beginning. Since the beginning. Even the Levantine people back migrating, people speaking Assyrian, people speaking the Amorite languages and these different Semitic languages, and even later on Arabic. They want that damn removed from Africa or East Africa. They already speaking an Afro-Asiatic language family. You know what I'm saying? A language that's part of that language family. You know what I'm saying? Even though it developed right outside of Africa, it's still a link or branch of an African language.
I wonder how people can listen to this and say she agrees with us. How do people do that? How do y'all actually do that? I never understand how y'all do that, yo. Like, it's like y'all comprehension is gone. You know what I'm saying, Gull? I wonder how they. It's got to be something to that, though.
There's something to this. It's like,
we heard what the lady said. She said I would use the word African and explain why, how derogatory black was, post-colonialism and all that. Like, what the hell was y'all listening to? Like, how does that work that way? I just wonder, is it just an instant reaction? Is it that you just hold on to your position no matter what? They're going to say the same thing about the interview we did last night, yesterday during the day, when they got on there and fumbled their question half to death, scared to death of the experts. And the experts came out and put everything in its proper perspective. Yeah, I won't play the interview if y'all calm down.
I think
that, man. That's interesting to me, man.
I think they had the tinfoil hat on so long that it's starting to weld to their fucking brain.
Man, stop cussing, man. Come on, yo. We got my bad. We ain't doing that. Come on, man. We want to get
it's starting to weld to their brain, yo. You know what I'm saying?
They just want to disagree to disagree.
It's like they looking for some type of conspiracy theory or something. You know, like they're not speaking in no cryptic terms. They just telling you what it is. They're not having no secret underlying. I don't know. I don't know if they think they some type of cult people or something or what, but they just talk. It's no underlying thing. They're just saying what it is.
I know, yo. Crazy. What's your question, Mr. Witch? How you doing?
Hey, peace on happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man.
No
Appreciate
doubt.
that. Great birthday presents.
Did she say
Come on,
the
man.
color change in the north from dark to light?
No, she just said the color changes. You say about
No,
influx of people.
no.
She said that,
too
bro.
light. She said too light.
Also change. So what?
Okay. I'm just asking a question. Okay, I'm gonna move
How many
on.
times have we said that though? The
I'm
color
gonna move
can change
on.
back
I'm
and
gonna
forth.
move on. I'm gonna move
Thank
on.
you,
And
sir.
she said down
The skin
south too.
color not
And
even
she
a
said,
factor, bro. That's
listen, I'm just saying
colonization.
something. I'm not
That's something to
finished.
do with living quarters and
I'm
stuff.
not
We ain't
finished.
gonna
I'm
yell.
not
We
finished.
ain't gonna yell.
Okay,
I don't
now,
even. Hold on, Mr.
did
Rich.
she
Mr. Rich.
say
Mr.
that there
Rich.
was a
Hold on for a
lot of
second.
mixing?
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Hold on a second, Mr. Rich. I mean, so get to your point.
I'm asking a question. I'm asking the next question.
No. Get to
Okay,
your
so
point,
she
though.
did say. Okay, so she did say
What
there
does
was a
that mean to
lot
you? What does that
of.
mean to you? What
Wait,
does that
I'm
mean
going
to
to
you?
finish. I'm
All
going
right,
to
go ahead,
finish.
bro.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
She said there was a lot of mixing. A
Absolutely.
lot of
Absolutely.
mixing. So from
Absolutely.
all this mixing,
Mm-hmm.
you're telling me, and she say, and she says at the same time that the population didn't change. Don't you think that's? I mean, that's not even logical. From all this mixing from the to the indigenous population, with all this mixing, all of the color changing from dark. She said more light in the north and in the south. You're still telling me that the population didn't change to what you see today.
So I want to ask you a
Because she's
question.
saying what
Hold
they're
on for a
saying
minute. You
about the word
said it.
black. Okay, I'm done.
Listen,
I'm done.
you said it.
Cool.
You don't gotta move.
Peace.
So you actually think because somebody has a gene. Say, what's the word I want to use, Gullah? I want to say inherited a gene from a person that would make their skin lighter. Did that change the person? Is that what you basically saying? Or how about a gene that make your heart pump better? So that automatically means you become that person that you got that one gene from. Is that what you're trying to tell us right now? I'm just listening to you, bro.
I am saying that.
Did you hear what I said, Mr. Rich? And
I
I was
heard what you said.
listen, so I don't get upset, right? I'm very concise when I'm saying. There are particular genes that deal with skin color, and you can inherit that from different people coming into the population, whatever. So since you're saying since they inherited that gene, they automatically stop being African, is that what you're trying to tell us? I just want to make sure I'm hearing you
I'm
clear,
not
bro.
saying they stop
So
being African. Nope, I'm
okay,
not
so
saying that.
okay.
I
Thank you,
said
bro.
that they are not the same indigenous people that was there from all of the mixing, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That
Gotcha.
makes plenty sense because she didn't say just one people. She said all these different people came in, mixing like a mud effort. You see what I'm saying? She said the color even changed. But you're still saying here that the modern Egyptians are the same ancient Egyptian when she clearly state that it was so much goddamn mixing. That's all I'm saying. That shit is we have to keep
that's fine.
We have to move on from that point.
No,
and number two, just another thing.
No,
now,
stop right there.
Okay, go ahead.
So we won't get upset, right? I want to let you know that at a certain point, you're going to have to start understanding what populations is. And I also want you to know that those people been moving back and forth 15,000 BCE, 20,000 BCE, 90,000. They've been influxing back and forth in that area based off the location in the region. I just want you to know that. So, and I think the thing that upsets me the most, not that y'all dead ass wrong, is that y'all keep continually not understanding. You know, and I know we read something for Samantha Kiata, right? And he absolutely tried to explain populations. And he talked about how the Egyptians, before they was even Egyptians, they had an influx of people coming to their genes. He said that. And he said that still doesn't change the dynamic of it being African. She said the same thing. As a matter of fact, she said she's read his work and she's learned how to say it. So either I don't understand what he's saying and he don't know what he's saying and she don't understand what he's saying, or you don't understand what she's saying. Which one do you think that is? Because I can pull a book up and back everything that lady just said. That's called a population. It's not concrete, bro. There's no such thing as a stagnant population on planet Earth, yo. If you do find a stagnant population, you like you go to the Adamese Island and you'll find a tribe left where nobody comes in. That's not how Egypt was.
No,
Like you, like I don't. You think people just start coming in when it was called Egypt? That's not fair, yo, for you to do that, Rich. Rich, the skin color can change back and forth routinely in Egypt, bro. That's not a thing. It's only a thing to African Americans, yo. Skin color chart.
So you give me a time. So you give me a time before Egypt was created that they was coming back and forth and add mixing. You give me a time when they was doing that before the creation of Egypt. No. Just give me a time. That's all.
No, come on, Rich. Rich, I don't have to do that. You've been around.
All right. So this is the second thing. So this is a different thing. So now let me ask you another question.
Wait, am I right though, Rich? See, because you playing with people listening, that you already know that people been coming in since the Stone Age. Can we agree to that?
People been coming in and mixing with the people of Ta-Nehisi.
No, there wasn't.
The people of Ta-Nehisi. You was coming in and mixing with them.
It wasn't.
I'm just asking a question.
It was no Ta-Nehisi did.
Yeah, I know what Ta-Nehisi is, man. Come on, I'm just saying. During that time, during the time of the first gnome. Okay, listen. The first gnome, the second gnome, the third gnome, the fourth gnome, the fifth gnome, the sixth gnome. You telling me they were mixing with them?
Because we want to keep the expert name in good favor. So we want to at least show a good favor, right? So go ahead. Go ahead, Gullah.
I just want to say this. If you really understand populations, how populations move, like the patterns the human populations move, it's mostly males that's doing a lot of the movement when you study Y chromosomes. Egypt, yes, it's...
Yo, why are we bringing DNA into the conversation where we already know that we don't do that? We already know that DNA cannot predict.
Look. Listen. We ain't going to do it. We're not going to talk over each other. Rich, I know you just as good at me at cutting people off. We not doing this. Not on my birthday, dog. I want people to actually hear the information, yo. Seriously, yo. Because there's a real misunderstanding here, yo. I'm about to pull a book up. See, I like the way y'all do this. And we've said it, and you've heard me read the same material. I've seen y'all misuse sources. I'm going to bring up your source, bro. I'm going to bring your source up to the table that you routinely misread. You didn't even understand it. So your thing that you just said, Mr. Rich, was before it was Ta-Nehisi, before whatever the hell you thought it was, I'm going to read something to you before they was Egyptians saying that people have been influxing. I want to ask you what barrier was created, right, when they became Egypt that would stop those same people from coming in since the Stone Age. Please explain that.
There's no barrier anywhere. There's no sub-Saharan. I understand that. There's no barrier.
I didn't get to finish my point.
No, I'm just giving an example. There was no barrier. I got it.
My fault. Let me finish the point, Rich. My fault. Go ahead, Gullah.
Yes, because I say don't bring the DNA in there because you know we don't use that shit.
You don't make no rules here, bro.
Gullah. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is the DNA is still important because we talking about population migration, so you can't leave it out. You got to use all of it together. Anyway, the most dominant Y component of Egyptians is E3B, which is an indigenous mutation. Why is most of the males E3B? So you're saying most of these migrations or these takeover was women taking over men or something? Because most of these dudes are still the indigenous men. They evidently were these men choosing these particular women predominantly.
All right. Hey, so it was no borders or no boundaries. So why couldn't ancient Egyptians go to, West Africa, since there was no boundaries and shit like that?
See, I don't want to do that. Come on.
No, because you say one thing on this side, but okay, great. All right, one more question.
Did you just do that to just filibuster and just say anything and throw us off? Like, why?
No, man. I just heard all the mixing, man. I just heard all the mixing and logically speaking from all the mixing and all of the color.
I'm asking you a question. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? And since you got the audience, explain to these people how a group of ancient people that don't know none of the stuff you talked about actually stop chasing a food supply, yo, just for us to prove our point. Explain that to us, bro. Seriously.
I can't.
No state form yet. None of that. They just following the wild animals, yo. I said it a million times. The grains in the grasses. When they stop growing, the animals stop coming. Animals gonna find their food, yo. Simple. And so the herbivores are looking for the herbs and the grasses, right? The meat eaters are following the herbivores, and the omnivores are following everything. They're not saying, "Oh shoot, I'm in Egypt now. Let's stop there, because later on, them African Americans, yeah, I'm saying, gonna say we mixing. Come on, yo, they don't even." And then what's the dividing line? They don't know none of the stuff we saying. I'm trying people to get you to wrap your mind around that didn't just start happening when they built Egypt, yo. So people make it seem like, oh, they started coming in when they built Egypt. That's the craziest thing that you know. You could go find that evidence. I don't even.
Is
have
that in the writings? Is that all in the writings too?
There is no writing.
They say that in the writings.
There is
yes,
no
they
writing.
do have the middle. Okay, they don't. All right, there's no writing.
Archaeological evidence. It's the archaeological evidence, bro. What are you saying?
Yeah, you supposed to know that though. Come on, yo, you got it. Come on, Rich.
If this is a court case, you would have lost because you have the evidence.
Hey, Gullah.
All you got is some old.
I'm just asking questions.
True or right?
What are you saying?
Ancient writings. Okay, now this is another question. This is the last question.
Back to some scripts. You said
all right, so this is the last question. This is the last question. Now, did the ancient Egyptians call themselves? Did they say black or they use another word?
No, we already asked everybody. We asked the black Egyptologists, we asked the Japanese Egyptologists, and we asked the
I know, I got that.
Said no. There's only two people on planet Earth that says that. Do you hold on?
I got you.
No, you don't.
You're not understand what I'm asking you.
No, I want to hammer this.
I'm not understanding what I'm asking you.
I want to hammer this point
say Kim?
There's only two people. There's only two people that say that, and they're non-experts, non-trained. Two people that I know of right now that would remotely say that. All sides disagree to that. Go ahead, Mr.
I agree with you when they say they didn't say they didn't call themselves black. They called themselves Kim, right?
No, don't play the game.
Cheat.
No, you're cheating now. You're cheating now. That's why it's hard to have good conversations. That's why I get upset, because now you're going to play the cheat game. That's not right, Mr. Rich. That's why we cannot have a conversation. That's why experts don't want to talk to us, because it's disingenuous now. Because if that's all y'all meant from day one, listen, if that's all y'all meant from day one, listen, I'm going to show you. If that's all it was from day one, this is how you start that statement. Brother Unc, they did not refer to themselves as black people like we do today. They use the word Kemet that meant black. That's how you say that. But they wasn't mean it like we mean it.
Black people. They say black people.
Remember too, remember.
Yeah, they say black people. That's what it means.
Okay,
it means
so
black
then you so hold on, Gullah. So now see how you just did that. That's why it's hard, Rich. Rich, you used to be a genuine guy, yo. See how this subject make you?
Yo, I'm not even bugging, yo. I'm not even bugging.
You get my point, though? Like now you saying, right now you saying, first you said they just use the word Kemet. I say that's fine. Right? And it means black. So now you saying they just said they call themselves the black. Hold on.
Black people.
So now if you say black people, then they would be saying it the same way we said when we say black people, Rich. That's all I'm saying, yo. And the reason this is so hard right now, yo, because you caught. You can't even make it make sense, yo. That's when I realized I had to change my stance on things. When I got to where you at right now with this show, it's no way out. You got to let it go. You have grown, bro. You've just grown. So I've grown to understand that using a racialized term that was brought in by colonialism, right?
This shit didn't even exist back then, but it didn't exist back then. So how can it evoke that?
Right.
How can they use that racist term when it wasn't even created?
That's all I ever said. So if they can't use a racial term, then they must have meant something else then, Rich. That's all I'm saying, Rich. You cannot be this confused.
But they explain what it is through the writing.
No, they don't explain anything. You people explain the thing. Nobody says that, Rich. Rich, I don't care what you think.
I hope somebody can come on and bring up the text and see what they say about themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Rich, this is what I want to tell you, Rich. Rich, we have African Americans with PhDs saying that's wrong. We got Irish saying that's wrong. We got Chinese Egyptologists saying that's wrong. And we got an artist and a computer scientist saying all the experts are wrong. We made sure we covered all the bases, dog, on purpose. We covered all the bases so y'all can't say, well, the African side, the Diop side agree. The Diop side don't agree. We got, and I'm threatening y'all. I'm saying don't make us play it.
Why don't y'all have the debate? What happened to the debate, yo? Why we just can't have the debate?
What debate?
It was a debate that's supposed to be about this stuff.
Nobody for kibbles and bits, bro. For chump change.
Oh, it's about the money?
Not
just give it to the people, man.
I'm not giving nothing to nobody.
You know what I mean?
Give it to the
pro-black. You know what I mean? I'm good. Everything is good.
To the people, Mr. Rich. Hey, Mr. Rich, I've given it to the people, Mr. Rich, and I've given it to the people with the experts, Mr. Rich. And if y'all just don't agree with the experts, then it's definitely.
I'm just saying, man. A debate will just clear everything up.
Rich, there is no debate, Rich. See, that's the issue. It's really no debate.
You don't, I don't think he really researched it. He don't know how hard it is. Like that shit is work to put together. Like that's people gonna get paid for that, bro. We don't want free debate.
Man, yo, and Reggie always put down a presentation. I ain't never see you put a presentation up, yo. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Reggie always put a presentation up, yo.
I got a whole channel.
Oh yeah, I'm saying you do the research on that, yo. You be looking at stuff. I'm saying a presentation. I ain't busy looking at this, yo. I ain't busy looking at nothing. I'm not even on the net like that.
One at a time. Hey, Rich, why don't you debate, Rich? See? Why don't you debate? You just want to show up.
That's not my thing.
After you spend time with your family, your daughters, you just want to make a mockery of the shit I do.
No, I'm not making a mockery, homie. I said happy birthday, bro. You know what? And I already said, hey, yo, and I already gave you thanks and everything for what you've done, given to the community and all of that, bro.
I am. To hell with all that.
It's cool.
I'm saying it right now, Mr. Rich. Don't just happy birthday me. The hell with that. That ain't doing nothing for me. It barely make me feel good. I'd rather say
I take it back then.
Take that shit back. Send a nigga $1. That's a happy birthday to me. The rest of it's just words. Is what y'all do. Y'all talk. Y'all talk. Y'all say, bring the experts. We bring the experts. One thing I don't do is lie about contacting experts. Then we realize somebody been lying, dog. Did those same experts that y'all claim is saying that ain't saying that when they talk? Why don't y'all address that? Address that, Rich. Address that you on the side that can't even talk in front of experts. Don't make me pull the footage. Y'all see how I talk in front of experts, no matter what color they are. They could be from Ireland. They could be from China. They could be Chinese Americans. They can be Irish Americans. And they could be African Americans. I promote to experts the same thing I promote to the people, but I'm saying everybody else is not holding that standard, Mr. Rich. At a certain point, y'all gonna have to start holding some people accountable, brother. At a certain point, whether you agree with me or not, you need to ask a question. So why didn't you ask those same questions when the experts was here? Why didn't you ask them, am I right or wrong when I make the assertion that this word means this? Because I do it, brother. I do it in all my interviews because I want to show y'all that I'm not playing. I want to show y'all that I stand behind what I say, that I'm not afraid of a person that has a PhD, that I can actually have a cognitive conversation with the person that is at a high level of information.
Rebecca Kennedy definitely agrees with them. Rebecca Kennedy, she agrees with Smash and Reggie. There's plenty of PhDs that agree with them, bro. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Brother, we're waiting for that, though, Mr. Rich.
I just gave you one. You can look her up right now. Rebecca Kennedy. I just gave you one.
Hey, Mr. Rich, I want you to know, brother, that why we gotta wait on it. Y'all ain't gotta wait on none of that. We didn't brought experts from 3 ethnicities.
We'll bring up Rebecca Kennedy right now. Let's see what's up.
Man, stop it, bro. You should be able to have that. I could play it. Have us saying what you saying, that the word Kemet mean black people. Go get that. Rich, you should have watched it by now, Mr. Rich. Anyway, here's your source, Mr. Rich. This is how easy y'all is these days. Y'all easy pickings. Y'all easy pickings, bro. Easy pickings. I can't believe this. This is so Interesting to me. This is the craziest thing ever. Let me get right to you. Here. This your source. You brought this up. You brought this source up right here, bro. Genetic population. I think I want to get the page. African population, health and disease. Hold on, let me find the page real quick. This your source now.
Who's this? Who's this?
This your source you brought up.
Who's this? Who's this? Who's
source.
this? Who's this, bro?
This your source. We don't
Nah. I said go to Rebecca Kennedy, homie.
No, you didn't. You're behind.
I just said that.
I know you're behind.
I said Rebecca Kennedy. Just go to Rebecca Kennedy. No, you ain't not. Hey,
Rich.
Now you. I didn't say bring this dude in.
Rich.
I'm not. I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead.
It's called 1, 2, 3. It's called do not forget where we are in the conversation.
Yes,
So
and I said go to Rebecca
see how
Kennedy.
you over talking me right now? It's called 1, 2, 3. You made a statement on the population never changing, and you say, prove that the population changed before they was Egyptians. You said that. I say, brother, you have proved it with your source. And I said, the issue is you're not understanding the sources we're actually reading. I said,
wait, say that again.
Let me finish. I said, you the one that brought the source to prove it. I said, maybe, and I gave a whole spiel over how the lady talked about population, how she learned from Samantha Kiata, and how somebody's not understanding. I said, I think it's you, bro. I said, let me get your source. And then we went on this long conversation. And then you brought up Rebecca Kennedy, bro. Bro, for you to have a conversation with me, 1, you need to be able to rely on experts. And 2, don't forget the stuff you say, because I'm not forgetting. It's my job.
I just asked you a simple question. How can that be possible where the population doesn't change from all the mixing?
And
I didn't say any name. I didn't bring no source.
What did I say?
Okay?
I said
I
you
just
brought the source up. I know you hear me.
I did not bring Samaka Kiata. I didn't say him.
I'm gonna look you in your face right now. Hey, Mr. Rich.
Look me in the face.
My statement was you brought that source before. That's what I said.
Not today. I did not say. I just asked a simple question.
Rich,
I just asked a simple question today.
Ask the question again. The same way.
I said with all of this mixing, right? I didn't say any source. I just asked a simple question.
I know you did.
With all of that mixing, with all of this changing in color, you're telling me that it didn't change from the indigenous population. That's all I'm saying. You guys gave me an answer. Then
I said, hold on, Rich,
a few minutes ago, I said Rebecca Kennedy agrees with us on the black thing.
Hold on for a minute, Rich. My answer to the first portion of the question was, I said, brother, you have brought this source before and have misread it. I said, let me bring it again. And I looked for it now. I found it. We're going to get to Rebecca Kennedy, bro. So I'm going to answer the question the same way I did before. I said, but you brought the source first on the population high mix. You just didn't know. You brought that source. And here's that source. Let me get it up.
I did not bring that source.
I know you didn't. But you'll remember it, bro. Don't worry yourself. You'll definitely remember it. We'll take our time. We'll get you right to this. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. We'll get you right here. Samantha Kiata. We'll get it right here. We got you. History genetics. We want to get to 2.7. Let's see. One second, genetics going through the population. 1 second. Oh, man. Right here, the idea. Hold on, let me get to it. Right here. Hold on. Slow the conversation down. Anyway, get to the part defining versus describing African and Africans. Let me see. The most general term. This work. Hold on. Comment up. 1 second. Wonder why. Oh, too damn slow. Because I want you to see this, bro. You're lucky I just can't get right to it. Genetics, restriction, history. various all races speaking general languages, Afro-Latino. Hold on. Oh man, claims. It's on page 18. I got the book right here. Hold on. The common agreement criteria evaluate multidisciplinary. That's not it, man. I'm gonna have to come back to that. God damn it. Genetics doing work on population. Anyway, so let me read it. I can't quite find it right here. So it's right here. It says the idea of Africa has often been confined to tropical or sub-Saharan and sometimes Saharan Africa, the implications being that populations in North Africa were only geographically African, but had no grounding in Africa. Conceptual clarity and descriptive positions are what is needed in new discussions on Africa. Various people, watch this, various people have biocultural assimilated non-Africans, but also sometimes changed languages themselves. Of course, during the Greco and Islamic periods, there was substantial migrations from non-African regions and biocultural assimilation between groups. It is important, this is what you brought, it said it is important to remember that there were indigenous people there. Simply saying that although these groups is coming in here, there are indigenous people there. Specifically the Amazigh, watch this, and the ancient Egyptians. Now listen to this. Both of which had assimilated others after their ethnic emergence. Watch this. So they said both had assimilated others after their ethnic emergence and had complex biological histories prior, see that word prior is before, to the crystallization of their identities. I'm gonna read this little piece right here, right? This is what y'all always understand the mixing after the society was formed, but you never recognize the mixing prior to it. It says specifically the Amazigh and the ancient Egyptians, both of which had assimilated others after their ethnic emergence and had a complex biological histories prior to the crystallization of their identities. So prior to the crystallization of their identity, they was mixing. They had complex biology, complex mixing. That's all I'm saying. That was your source that y'all brought and didn't understand that. Two things going on here. After they were Egyptians, the Amazighs and the ancient Egyptians, right? They had people emerge inside of them. And prior to them crystallizing and being the Amazigh and Egyptians, they had a complex biological crystallization. Simple. Nobody wants to talk about the prior to. Y'all only want to talk about the after that. And I'm saying when you put those two events together, you actually have a real living and breathing population. Simple. Crazy. Points actually make no sense if you're not reading and studying and just taking your time and getting that thing right. Crazy to me, man. Let us continue.
And you can
If I may,
pick it up.
Point you made is very important about the population remaining. So in your professional opinion, you feel population really hasn't turned over, but it has mixed?
It has mixed, and there was a study that National Geographic did in the 2000s, and you can't find it online anymore. They removed it. This is so hot that National Geographic is like, take that study down. So you can find articles. I know you can find articles about the study, but you can't find the study. But the articles about the study say that they collected genetic information from living Egyptians in Egypt and compared it to what they have of ancient genetic information and said, and this is a very rough number, that 70% of the people living in Egypt currently have very strong genetic connections to ancient Egyptian genomes. 30% addition and change, how you quantify that? Is it within each person? Is it different populations? I'm sure it's a mixture of both. But, you know, it means that every population changes. Nothing will stay pure. My husband is half Ainu, indigenous Japanese. There aren't any pure Ainu left. He grew up in Hawaii. There aren't any pure indigenous Hawaiians left. What does it mean to find a purity, and who's asking for it? And then things start to get really tricky really fast. And that's where the patriarchal claims come in. And for the whole conversation, whenever I'm talking about this, patriarchy has done all of us, men and women and children, so much damage. And I like to transcend the patriarchal claims as much as possible. Then you can have a conversation that's really interesting. And it's not like, those are our people. Those aren't your people. It's more, we're people and we all get mixed up. And it's a complicated world out there. Yeah.
You know, it's funny that if you look at the whole world as a place, as humans, every culture have the same problem. You're going to have divorce. You're going to have people fighting. You're going to find, you know, all type of different things in the same culture. But when it comes to this issue of the Egyptians and being quote unquote black, and you talk about the patriarchal, as far as speaking from that perspective, can you elaborate on that a little bit? And then after this, I'll allow to ask you some more questions.
Yeah, the patriarchal aspect, you know, I wrote a whole book about this called The Good Kings, which is trying to understand that patriarchy is actually quite young. It's something that we've only lived with this in this world for, you know, in California, where I live now, 500 years at most. In ancient Egypt for 5,000 years at most. Patriarchy is ruled by the fathers. It's ruled by a minority of men. It's something that is about hoarded wealth, hoarded power, control, battles. Just, you know, patriarchy is how you get sexual abuse in the Catholic Church and the Boy Scouts. Patriarchy is not good for boys and men either. It's a way of creating an unequal society par excellence. Patriarchy is also about using history, archaeology, the past, as a way of claiming the present. And in this moment, in this world where we all feel like we're perched on the edge of a cliff and we're going to fall into God knows what, I feel we're going through an anti-patriarchal revolution. But everyone knows that the most bombs are fired before the armistice is signed. And so right now, those holders of patriarchal power, those billionaires, those people that hold the oil fields, those people that hold the religious patriarchies, they are fighting with everything they have to keep their patriarchal power. And so patriarchy is right now having a resurgence. It's why women don't have control over their bodies in half of the states in the United States. It's trying to control women and children. It's trying to control other men. It's also trying to control history. It's creating a founding fathers in the United States mythology that never existed, but is perfected and idealized. And I think that patriarchy in African-American Black communities can also be misused such that you can look at African history and say, well, we did Egypt. Now, don't misunderstand me. I am not saying that the ancient Egyptians were not Black as we Americans perceive it. They were. The way we define Black with mixed race one drop rule, the way we define Black as a positive thing, the Egyptians were Black. Not maybe all of them according to our definition, but certainly most of them. And if you go to modern day Egypt today and you go to a place like Luxor down in the south, you'll be like, these people are Black in our definition, our American definition of what Black is, Jamaican definition of what Black is. Yes, they are. But
so let's stop right here. How many in the chat thought you understood what she said? Y'all know I asked her to clarify that later on in the discussion. So I want y'all to put y'all thinking caps on right now. I want you to think about what she said. She routinely said, by our American definition. What does that actually mean? Think about the question and think about the answer. Takes high-level thinker. Let me show you what I did to understand what she was saying. Well, I first looked up what the one drop rule was. I looked up what the brown paper bag routine was. I looked up what the racialized standard was in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Y'all should probably do that first before you cheer. The same standard that got the Jews in Adolf Hitler's time murdered. Took to the gas chambers. What does this have to do with the conversation? A lot. So they took their rules and regulations of the one drop rule. And they said if you had a Jewish great-grandfather, then you were Jewish. They said if you had a black grandfather, one drop, then you were black, right? But if you was Native American and they had a great-grandfather that was white, then you was white. Do you see how the whole thing is not a real standard at all? It's just an idea and a concept that you come up with. So we got that expert that Garfield is going to play tonight that's going to put all this together for you. So if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm cheering. No, you're not really thinking. So all y'all that think, y'all know what she said. Why not take the time out to look up and see what the racial standards are in America? So is Barack Obama black or white? He came out of the womb of a European woman. And he has a father from Kenya. Who chose what he was? Is that a biological answer? Is it an anthropological answer? Or is it just a bunch of African Americans cheerleading on the side of racism, white supremacy, and being in full agreements with them on the answer because it makes them feel good? If y'all sitting there thinking in the one drop rule is significant, then y'all not really reading. You're not actually ready for the conversation. You're ready to argue. These conversations are had at higher levels, and there's some prerequisites you have to understand. So when we say that the Egyptians, or when they say that the Egyptians are black based off of American standards in the Annabella South, you probably need to look that up and find out what the racial standards was before you raise your hand and cheer. Let us move on with the conversation. Some people was getting confused why she was talking about the patriarchy because there wasn't no women driving them ships around, enslaving people. It was men. The biblical text was put together by men. And it was those men that made those standards of where a woman should be. It was men that created the he God. Remember that? Oh, y'all didn't know that the biblical text is a patriarchic book? They call it the patriarchs. Abraham and Isaac. I don't hear no women names in that. They relegate Mary to just the mother of God, as if that wouldn't have been important. They never emphasized that. Patriarchal systems is exactly what she's talking about. That relegated a woman to the mother of all but the helpmate of Adam. These are the systems that your mother and your father and your sisters grew up. That's why men get mad if a woman say, well, we don't need a man. Y'all refuse to look up what the word need means. Don't know what that means. Have no idea what it means. What does need mean? What does want need? Have no understanding of the social interaction between Homo sapiens sapiens. Have no idea. Have no idea of the importance of relationships of Homo sapiens sapiens. And it doesn't have to be male and female. Some people have different sexual orientations than others. I prefer black women. But there are other people that don't. They're not looking at a woman the same way I'm looking at a woman. So for you to tell them that they need to have a relationship with a woman to feel whole makes no sense, right? So get what she's saying. They was the ones, the males, that implemented this racialized system. So that's what she's talking about. And by the way, look up the term feminist before you start jacking off looking crazy. That's the problem. If it's outside of our parameter of understanding, we automatically take a negative stance against it. But I thought it was about our growth and development as African Americans, Black Americans. Or is it about hearing some information on YouTube and continuing in the foolery no matter what it is? Which one is it? Man. Crazy. Of course you're officially lost. You would be, because you don't read enough. When you start to read, the clouds start to leave you. And I'm not talking about regular trash books. I'm talking about good quality information, good quality lectures. When you start to read, good quality lectures on feminism, good quality lecture on the patriarchy. Just sit down and read the damn Bible, and you know that's a male book. Ain't never said God was a she ever. And I'm saying we was raised under these systems, right? And I'm saying the things that we do is based off of these systems until we break away from the chains. So ain't nowhere in the world that a Black man living in America ain't gonna think, you know what I'm saying, that he top notch in his house, no matter how crazy he be at times. You just automatically think that. There's things out here like you teach your son that he can go conquer all the women, but let your daughter do it. It's an issue. That's the patriarchy. You should teach your daughter and your son that running around sleeping with people arbitrarily is nasty. And that could actually get you into trouble, whether that be unwanted kids, which causes another problem, single parent households, that the both of y'all, no matter what it is, but y'all can't get out your mind. You actually think your son is a conqueror and your daughter is a hoe. Y'all actually think that. That's the patriarchy. Let me move on for those who just don't understand. Let me keep moving forward with the conversation. Y'all need to read. Oh, tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. Interesting.
When you then use these patriarchal concepts of all or nothing, they're all ours, not yours, then you get into these fights about who owns land, who owns culture, who owns the past. And those fights can be very bitter and very problematic. And we don't need to be having them because we're all everything. My own genetic test showed that I have 5% Coptic Egyptian from my mother's Italian Greek side, which is kind of cool and crazy. Do I go out there and claim that I'm Egyptian? No. But it means that I'm a mutt like everybody, or like a lot of people, and that's pretty damn cool. So less claims and more curiosity and more connection. Instead of the claim, this is mine and not yours, it's more like, oh my God, look at how we're all connected in this world, and that's the anti-patriarchal movement that I'd like to be a part of.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. I can tell some problems right now. So You said a few things that most people can't even put together in their mind. So I would like to say this. When you say to me that based off of American standards, I automatically say, well, that's colonizing standards. That was the standard set by colonizers and the racist white supremacists. They were very supremacist in their approach to racialize indigenous people and put their own tags on them. So that's the American standard. That am I wrong? Am I wrong in that? I want to make sure
you're not wrong.
Okay, so the museums, the curators say they're indigenous Africans to get away from that, because we know we studied Charles Darwin, right? And he basically said that.
Prime example of me asking her what I have been teaching y'all. I'm not afraid to ask lady, am I right or wrong? She's either going to say, no, you wrong, or you overemphasize it, or you right. But you need to add this to it. That's why we're actually interacting with an expert. That's the reason why we talk to experts. They're in a position to teach us. You don't see me stumbling and stammering over what I say. The same things I say to her, I say to y'all. Same exact things. Am I right or am I wrong in this? Do I got this right? Other people didn't do that. Other people didn't have the wherewithal to realize that you're in front of a teacher. Maybe you should ask those questions that you've been fighting over. She could have said, no, that's not actually a colonizing system. That's exactly what the system of the Egyptians had. She could have very well said that, and I would have had to have accepted that answer. Simple as that. I might not want to go with the answer, but I'm accepted until I can find something better, if that was the point. But I just wanted to make that point, came right out and asked her. Same things I say to y'all, the same things I say to the experts when I'm in interview with them. How come everybody else can't do that? I tell you, boy, flim, flam, bim, bam, boom, at high levels.
Humans come from Africa first. He's one of the first people to report that, right? And he's basically saying that, skin color can actually range. So we recognize this. And like you said, the patriarchy, I like the way you say that. The patriarchy, right? I like that. And so, but when you make the point to say by American standards they black, I'm cool with that. But then you say something that's real crucial, and they're not going to, a Garfield, they're not going to be able to put this together. I know the study you're talking about that said the Egyptians was actually 70%, tied to the indigenous populations, right? They're not going to be able to put them two together because their eyes visually have them thinking that what they're looking at shouldn't be black or shouldn't be African. In reality, right, it's called an evolution, right? It can trick your eyes. So we call it lookership. You shouldn't just look at a person and think you know who they are, because you actually can't. Yeah. And like you said, skin change, right? So that's going to be an issue. Garfield know what I'm saying. 1 minute you said that American standards they black. The next minute you said that's basically the same population, because you understand populations are very fluid. They're not less they statues. Not like you freeze a human being from 3000 BC and bring them forward. That's the only way it wouldn't change. Population are fluid.
So let me also, since you're talking about white supremacy in the United States and how that has formed and shaped our understandings of race and ethnicity and power.
Yes.
This doesn't mean that Africa hasn't received that same generational trauma of white supremacy. They have, but in different ways. And a post-colonial Africa has been effed up just in different ways. And so the understanding of how race should work in an Egypt where power is very much assigned to color, and not always, but often is, then you get people who, having been occupied since the Bronze Age collapse by one empire after another, and has only been under native rule since 1950, right?
I'm Sadat.
Before that. So 1950 was their revolution. Sadat is going to be after that, but native rule for 80 years is not, or 70 years is not going to create the confidence in identity. And let me add to this, that if you talk to Egyptians today, there is an understanding that they're indigenous African, having been occupied by West Asians, such that even their language was erased. Egyptian language was erased by Arab occupation of elites who came in. 10% of the population is replaced, come in and take control of goods, services, labor, commodities, all kinds of things, and they control it. So much so that if Egyptians wanted to have a place in medieval Egyptian society as a player, they had to speak Arabic and drop Egyptian. And that happened so fast. And so think of that wound on a society that knows they're African, that they belong to this great people that built the first monumental stone structures on the planet, that created colossal obelisks and statuary, that they were a part of all of this, and yet they're occupied by people that tell them, one, no, you can't speak your indigenous African language anymore, and two, your indigenous African creations are all of the devil. They're not of the Allah that we have brought here. They're not of the correct God, and the religion was replaced as well. Christianity had done a number on them before, right? So there's that other occupation in a way. But you're dealing with an Egyptian population that is also traumatized. And so what I see as the white chick from Texas coming in who loves Egypt and is like studying this in no man's land with my 5% Coptic, right?
Coptic.
Hey, you legit though. You legit. You got that stamp. We ain't got it.
Yeah, so it's true. It's true. That's true. You don't, because the West African and all of this, but Jamaican is often East African. But whatever, you can tell us your genetic code if you want later. But what I see is two peoples coming together with extraordinary trauma on both sides. And if they could meet in a non-patriarchal way, they would be able to have this discussion and find connection rather than not. But we're talking about an Egypt right now that is ruled by an authoritarian regime. That authoritarian regime is very West Asian and white facing. Where is its money coming from? Follow the money. And if you travel to Egypt today, you're going to see billboards with white, happy Egyptian people, as white as you can possibly imagine, in their villas, at their coffees, you know, doing all their things. And this is the Egypt that is coming in direct conflict with a resurgent Black American population that's like, no, we have to talk about this in a different way. So it's a hot mess. And
yes, it is.
and go onto social media, and I don't think I've ever seen a conversation that creates more anger and fear and shaming and outright racist memes like this one. What race were the ancient Egyptians? Nothing makes people hotter on both sides than this one. Nothing.
Yeah.
Trust me, we have lost friends and continue to lose friends.
Continue to lose friends.
And it's all about, it's just crazy. I don't even want to go there, but it's just crazy.
I mean, patriarchy is the water in which we swim. That's why I wrote this book, and I actually use those words, that patriarchy is the water in which we swim.
I'm gonna get that. We're gonna get that.
And it's very hard for us to see what the world could be like in a sustainable, non-growth, don't kill your neighbor to make more money, compete kind of way. This is the way we've been programmed. We're brainwashed. And we need to find a different way to talk about these things. But it's very hard when people are trying to manufacture power within the patriarchal system. This is what we do.
So here's a good point, a question I want to ask you. So I understand it to be an anachronism when you say that the ancient Egyptians called themselves Black. Now, I know being an Egyptologist, I know you're familiar with the Meta-Nature and the hieroglyphics. Yes. And so I want to ask you straightforward. Do the Egyptians call themselves Black people? And is Kemet, does it mean the land of the Black people, based off what you know and your expertise? Two things, 2 points.
Okay, so I'm going to lead you back to the.
Told you I was going to ask her. That's that question. Yep. That's that question. Does that mean the land of the Black people? What does it mean? See, I don't stir away from things that I'm talking about on social media to y'all. I don't stir away from it. Matter of fact, I attack it head on. Doesn't matter who I'm talking to, right? Depending on who I'm talking to is how I will relay that message. If the expert is giving out respect and playing the role of a teacher, right, then we get that respect. If they're being combative, then we're going to have to talk that talk. Don't matter who you are. But 99% of the 100% of the experts I've actually talking to are very cordial, right, and are willing to teach. So the questions that we've been talking about around here and dealing with them, we definitely not afraid to ask them same questions when we get around an expert. Ain't that right, Gella? We don't have a problem having those conversations, do we? And asking those questions.
No, not at all. Not at all.
A lot of other people did, though, bro. I seen other people freeze up, Yes, I seen them. They was mums the word, cack out their tongue, scared to death, couldn't even put out their ideas. Craziest thing ever, Gullah. Wait till we put that out. Now, if they act nice, we won't put that out.
Yep.
Okay,
People freeze up like a deer in headlights.
Like a deer in headlights, yo. Like a deer in headlights. Come out with your hands up. You're surrounded. They surrounded, bro. Craziest thing ever, yo. You know how long we've been fighting this fight?
Yeah, man.
For the experts to come and say what we said, boy, I tell you, man. Boy, I tell you, man.
Yeah, I feel like Professor Dave explains.
What's going on, Miss Tiff? How you doing? We're gonna get that answer from her.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Tiebreaker, go ahead. I can hear you.
Hear me? Oh, okay.
What's going on?
I'm just trying to figure out. I had it on the tip of my tongue what I was gonna say. Now I don't forgot. It's obviously about the race question. And
look at that.
I forgot. It's gonna come back to me.
Look at them.
What?
And so we already know that Christopher D. Thompson, sir, is ignorant.
What genes is dominant?
It's ignorant. Look, it's ignorant when it comes to genes. When I say ignorant, I'm simply saying you don't know.
So people are supposed to be able to go and get their genes tested to see what's most dominant if they're so-called mixed to determine what they are. Nobody does that.
Well, you actually have dominant and recessive genes.
No, I know, but able to prove that, people would have to actually go get that tested, right? To like make that make sense. Since he's saying which genes are dominant, which genes are dominant.
Well, the genes that produce lighter skin can be considered recessive, and the genes that produce darker browner skin is dominant.
So okay. So then if Barack Obama was a little lighter, I don't know, with the same swag.
Let's see, you got him. See how you just did that?
Would he not be black? Or could he not claim that? And somebody said that in the comments that Barack Obama calls it, he decided to call himself black. That's why it's so subjective, because a person can decide what race they are. It's subjective. Oh, I know what it was. So they're saying that these experts are, air quotes, agreeing with them because she says, they're black, but they say by American standards.
Right. They don't understand that. So what you
want me to do? My question is, and hopefully somebody can offer some feedback in the audience. Why do we think our American standards have to be imposed on the world? Y'all don't think that's a bit arrogant? I mean,
it's racist. That's racism.
Exactly.
You saying because I'm an American and I say so, then that's what it is. That's just so arrogant. Like, it's like the epitome of arrogance. So you're gonna go in somebody's space and say you black because that's how we do it in America. Yeah, you black to me, but that's just completely disrespecting what other people align themselves with. The better conversation is to find out how they like to be identified and go with that.
Yeah, you basing it off they basing it off a faulty system in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
like she even said, like, yeah, the Egyptians, they like back in the 50s, they would have had to sit on the back of the bus. But if Hawass, the Egyptologist Hawass, if he was back in the 1950s, he would have had to sit on the back of the bus. If you was a Sicilian in New Orleans, a Sicilian immigrant from Italy, you would have had to sit on the back of the bus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But they think that's a win. They think that by so what she's clarifying that is by American standards. Why is that a win? America is not the world. The world doesn't just, agree with everything because it's American. That's so arrogant, yo. That's just your perspective. And it's not nonsense.
So here you go. What are dominant
logic?
And recessive?
It's not a win. I'm gonna mute out.
You good. What are dominant and recessive? What are dominant and recessive? talking about genes. Let me just come right here. The terms are confusing and often misleading. This is the conscious community. They do not understand what dominant and recessive is. 6 fingers will be considered dominant. That means that person got that gene, the frequency was too high, and they developed 6 fingers. So nobody wants 6 fingers. Dominant and recessive inheritance are useful concepts when it comes to predicting the probability of an individual inheriting certain phenotypes, especially genetic disorders. But the terms can be confusing when it comes to understanding how genes specify a trait. It says this confusion comes about in part because people observed dominant and recessive inheritance patterns before anyone knew anything about DNA and genes or how genes code for proteins that specify traits. It said the critical point to understand is that there is no universal mechanism by which dominant and recessive alleles act. An allele is a variation of a gene. It says dominant alleles do not physically dominate or repress recessive alleles. Whether an allele is dominant or recessive depends on the particulars of the proteins they code for. The terms can also be subjective, which add to the confusion. The same allele can be considered dominant or recessive, depending on how you look at it. The sickle cell allele described below is a great example. Do y'all want the sickle cell? Sickle cell alleles. I'm just going to put the link in the chat and let y'all add on to the process of learning. Not going to read that. I want you to learn. So we won't have them wild comments in the chat no more about that. It's a wild comment. Let me throw this in the chat for y'all. Put this in there to help y'all out. Go. Did you get your comment together there, Miss Tiff?
That was it. I got that off. That was it.
And they couldn't understand what she was talking about when she talked about the patriarchy and why they had any relevance to the whatchamacallit.
Because it's men on both sides, again, just imposing their will on everybody else. I mean, it's yeah. So she's saying that that's what white colonialism did, and then that's what's being done in the Afrocentric circle the same way. Patriarchy. Bulldozing their will on everybody.
Yeah,
come through with the Mack truck.
Dun, dun. Okay. All right.
I mean, that's what I got from it. Is that what you got from it or something else?
Say it again. I was looking. I was trying.
I was saying that it's the patriarchy on either side. Like when you talk about colonialism, you're talking about white males bulldozing imposing their will on everybody. So it's the same for the Afrocentrics. It's the will of who's leading a lot of those conversations, imposing their will on everyone.
Yep. I mean, look, people don't look, man. These conversations require you to have understanding of a lot of complex subject matters, yo, else you'll just mess it up. Like you'll really think that, you watch this. The same person to holler about racism, white supremacy, the white man's the devil, this and that, be the same person that will agree to American standards on race. Just to win an argument on Egypt.
Right. So Nuts. She said, of American standards, but I don't see how that's a win. That's such a limited.
I'm gonna say
that's so limited.
I'm gonna say it again. The same person that holler about racism, white supremacy, and the white man is the devil, and the capitalism system is this, and the white man did this, and they did that, is the same person that would agree to the system that was implemented by the same people they claim to hate.
Right. Exactly.
See that? See, and I hope I've said that. So American standards was the standards set by the pseudo-scientific community that was looking for a reason, right, to justify why they enslaved you.
Right.
I'm enslaving you because your skin is darker than mine. The patriarchy. Your skin is darker than mine. So I will enslave you off that. And based off the fact that your skin is darker, based off of the one drop rule or the paper bag rule, you are black. Thus are a slave.
Right.
White man rapes a black woman. Those kids are black, and they will continue to be enslaved because of the color of their skin. Oh, your grandfather was black, so you're black. We can continue to hold you in bondage and slavery. That is the American system of race, ladies and gentlemen, that y'all people want to agree with just to win the conversation. I find it to be bananas. Huh.
Yeah, it's bananas.
What's your question, American Dream? Oh, you out of there. What's up, Amir? How you doing?
What up, bro? Happy belated birthday, bro. Peace and love.
Thank you, man. The experts and
peace, Amir.
Peace, Tiff. How you doing, Queen? Peace
all
and
right.
love. Hey, you know what's crazy? You know, when I was battling with on Smash Show, I talked about that National Geographic article, right? And it was rejected. And I just wish that I mean, they don't get what Miss Cooney said, but I want to say this to the audience. If a person from Yemen come over here to America, the same rules that apply for the idea of an Egyptian being black is the same rules that apply for a person from Yemen. So I want y'all to know what she's saying with this one drop rule thing. So, you know, from American standard, a Yemenese person coming here in the 60s or 50s who look very similar to people in Luxor and Minion will be classified as black. So when she say black from an American standard, that's that. But black from a African American standard, that's something totally different. So I want y'all to be very cautious and careful when she said what she said, because that paper bag test back in the when they used to use it, that same rule applied for the people of Yemen, the people of southern Palestine and Negev, the people of Upper Egypt, the people all through the Middle East. That brown paper bag test, though, that same rule applied for them as well. But from an African American standard, in no way that this woman is saying that the Egyptians would have looked like an African American. I just want y'all to get that. I just want y'all to understand what she means by one drop rule and paper bag test. Same thing, the same rule applied for some Louisiana Creoles who have the same intermediate olive skin tone as populations in those areas as well. So I want y'all to get that. Like, seriously. Because when she said that, idiots are going to cut that and say, look, that proves our point. And it does not prove your point. And she also brought up the National Geographic test that I brought up on Smash Show a few weeks ago, months ago, I'm sorry, and they rejected it. So I mean, it's really sad, but I'm gonna see what they're gonna do, because you hear people in there saying "boom" when she said that, as if it proves somebody's point or prove the other side's point.
Yeah, it's just not a win. Like, so what if you think that agrees with you? What now? What does that mean? It's just your little corner of the world. It ain't every people, every tribe. It ain't all of that. It's just what you think.
Yeah. But I think they don't get it though, because I mean, paper bag test. I mean, you know, Miss Cooney said on another video, she said she talked about the 60s and the civil rights, you know, if they would have sat on the back of the bus. But then she also said in another video they were neither black or white. Like she literally said she talked about the people in Minion and the people of Luxor.
Right.
She doesn't really talk about the people in the northern delta, you know, but she talked about the people in Minion and the people of Luxor. She said it, and she also said they were not black or white. I'm gonna find that timeline on the other video and cut that, because because once we cut it, we'll be able to show and prove, or clip it. We'll be able to show and prove she ain't talking about what people think she's talking about. She's not at all.
Right.
So I mean,
it's just saying, like, if you look at it from your point of view, okay, I can see your point, but technically, that's just not how, in the scholarly circles, that they are referred to as. It's, you know, it's people who range from skin color. I don't know what the issue with that is.
Yeah.
Just range in skin color.
I wish if you guys ever talk to her again, Unc, You know, if you guys allow me to come on, I'll ask her that question directly because I'm sure she'll agree with me. And I'm going to say, from an African American perspective, do they look like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant? And I bet you she say, hey, I bet you she say no, yo. I bet you she say no, because even though we know race does not exist, and you know we understand this, so these are social constructs. Description of what people look like is what it is. I mean, even the Egyptians in their art describe what people look like, even if it wasn't racist. They describe what the Nubians look like. They describe what the Syrians look like. They describe what the Libyans look like. What you see is what you see. It's like when you played the video with Nina Jablonski talking about how people start describing things with color based off their observation of what they were seeing. So what they seen is what they seen. So if I ask her, did they look like Burna Boy, as I said before, or Shaka Zulu, or the African American from down south or whatever, I'm sure she would say that they don't look like that. But if I ask her, do they look like Amu Sanit, which is an actor in Egypt, or certain people that live in Upper Egypt today, I'm sure she'll gravitate to the people that's over there now. As she said before, the people in Minion and the people of Luxor. That's the key. And those people in Minion and those people of Luxor, if they would have came here in the 1960s, they would be considered black from an American standard. One drop rule, paper bag test. But that rule also applies for the people of Yemen. That also applies with the people of Socotra Island, south of Yemen. They get extremely dark. That rule applies for a lot of people in brownish Middle East. I'm just saying.
All right, let me move forward. Appreciate that, Lamar Pope. All right. So we got it right here, front line. Okay. PBS. All right. So who is black? One nation's definition, right? So whenever she makes this statement, this is what she's actually talking about. All right. This is what most people should have went and did. Well, let me see what she's talking about so I can get what she's saying. An elegant way of getting you out the game for real. It say to be considered black in the United States, not even half of one's ancestry must be African black. It say, but will 1/4 do, or 1/8 or less? The nation's answer to the question, who is black, has long been that a black is any person with any known African black ancestry. It say this definition reflects the long experience with slavery and later with Jim Crow segregation. It says in the South, it became known as the one drop rule, meaning that a single drop of black blood makes a person a black. It say it is also known as the one black ancestor rule. Some courts have called it the traceable amount rule. Look it up, the traceable amount rule. An anthropologist calls it the hyper descent rule, meaning that racially mixed persons are assigned, key word here, racially mixed persons are assigned the status of the subordinate group. I'm going to say this again. See? Told y'all the very thing you hate, you be supporting based off your misunderstanding of the English language. Your comprehension, your comprehension is wild. It is also known as the one black ancestor rule. Some courts have called it the traceable amount rule, and anthropologists call it the hyper descent rule, meaning that racially mixed persons are assigned the status of the subordinate group. What was the subordinate group? The Africans in America. So when we talk about the racial criteria based off of American rules, we're talking about assigning a status to the subordinate group. This definition emerged from the American South to become the nation's definition. That is the nation's definition that y'all are agreeing to. Generally accepted by whites and blacks. Blacks had no other choice. I told y'all was promoting racism, white supremacy. As we shall see, this American cultural definition of blacks is taken for granted and readily by judges affirmative action officers and black protesters as it is by the what? The damn Ku Klux Klan. Now y'all need to go ahead with that foolery. Knock it off. Go back to your space where there's no required reading. Go back to that space. Over here, prerequisite is you got to read some material outside your comfort zone. So when an anthropologist or Egyptologist come on here and say based off American standards and see emphasize American 1,000 times, and you need to look up what the American standard was. It's the same standard that the Ku Klux Klan agrees with. It's assigned to the subordinate group, meaning you have no choice. That's exactly what the conversation was about last night, right? When we talked to a social anthropologist talking about racialization. I mean, he really threw that down. All right, great interview. I'm talking about Dr. Bruce Haynes. We talked about this very thing. So let us move on.
This book again, which is really cool, because in here there's an article by my colleague Danielle Candelora, which is about that word Kemet, where it comes from, what it should apply to, how it should be used, and I'm trying to see if I can find. Oh, here, there's this one: the Egyptianization of Egypt and Egyptology, exploring identity in ancient Egypt. Okay. And she looks at the word Kemet. And she's like, what is this word? Where does it come from? How are we to understand it? And it's a really wonderful piece. So I'll lead you there first. Now, did the Egyptians call themselves black? I mean, yes, and not in terms of skin color, not in terms of identity. Don't worry, I'm a teacher at UCLA. I'm used to phones going off. It's man. It's normal. You're all good. All right. And so they did not call themselves black via, in terms of their bodies. There are some Egyptians or Nubians who worked in Egypt who would depict themselves with darker skin, as was their skin on their books of the dead. One really wonderful example is a man named Mai Herpri, Maikhepri. His name means the lion is upon the battlefield. It's a wonderful Nubian style name. And this Nubian man coming from modern day Sudan or southern Egypt was a bodyguard, probably of female King Hatshepsut. And his Book of the Dead has been discovered along with his burial and his mummy, which shows him as with a phenotype of a more Central African or Sudanese African look, darker skin, curlier hair, all of those features. And he depicted those features on his Book of the Dead, which is amazing. Most Egyptian men depicted themselves with a brown or dark red, ochre sort of skin color. So they're not calling themselves black. They're not showing themselves black, but black and the Kemet is an incredibly important part of Egyptian culture, because the Egyptian Nile Valley, when it flooded its banks and it left all of that rich alluvial silt, what it left behind was a thick black earth. And somebody coming from Europe or West Asia, where they did rain-fed agriculture, is like, what the hell is this awesomeness? Really? This miracle? You just get all of this thick black earth and you throw some seeds in it and that's it? And then they grow and you get more wheat than we could possibly imagine. What the hell is this? And it was a miracle for people to see that. And that blackness became a god. And that god was Osiris. And he was the one in which you planted the seeds. So blackness is divinity. Blackness is richness and fecundity and new agricultural wealth. Blackness is getting drunk from the beer and the barley that you grow and you ferment. The blackness is associated with two divinities I'll name here. One, Osiris, and who also has green skin, because the green grows from the black, right?
Absolutely.
So he's like the green shoot that comes from the black earth. And then there's a goddess. She's actually like a divinized queen, and her name is Ahmose Nefertari. Ahmose, Ahmose, and then Nefertari. I think your audience can spell pretty easily. And she's always depicted with a deep black, carbon black skin. And people ask, is that because she was from Luxor? She was from Egypt South? Maybe it's possible, but it also means that she, as a divine figure, was associated with fecundity, new life, this black earth of Egypt. So the Egyptians called their land where the Nile Valley flooded black, but they didn't call themselves black. And then one more thing, when
hold on. That's important.
Which part?
Well, you said that they call their land black, not themselves. Say that again, please, for the people in the back.
Okay, so the Egyptians called their land black. They called it Kemet, but they did not call themselves black, and there is a reason.
Yeah, so there goes that right here. Some people didn't quite understand what the ochre was of the skin color, the red ochre. All right, this is what it would have looked like. See this? Ochre. These populations, particularly starting at around 160,000 years, they crushed up these rocks and they heated them to a certain temperature, right, to get their desired result. And some of them just crushed it up. This would have been the skin color. The color. There you go. Ochre. Ochre. Red ochre right here. So this is the skin color the Egyptians would have depicted themselves with. Right here. There you go. All right. So now y'all, you know what I'm saying? Now y'all know. Different colors of it, but the red one, that's the yellow. It's the yellow. I believe this would be the red, burnt or Ross, Sienna, raw, urban. Let's see what this is. Pure magnum. No, that's not it. Somewhere in here, these shades right in here. All right. You'll see prehistory. I told you, Bloom-Bloff Cave, ultra processing workshop. You know, I've talked about this for years. For the last 15 years, I talked about this. Descent decades. Let's see, 50,000 years ago. Archaeology around 300,000 years ago. Climate change. We understand that. Cook 60. Let's see. Re-examination of artifacts uncovered. But yeah, on these cave walls and stuff like that. That's the same thing they was painting with. All right, that's it. So that's what they showed themselves in terms of skin color. All right, let me freeze it right here real quick. You wanted to ask a question before you jump in, American Dream. Don't be cussing nobody out in my chat, man. We're not doing that, bro. Calling people bitches and all that. Let's not do that, bro. Let's keep it cordial. Let's keep it moving fair, yo. What's your question?
Hey, peace, Unc. I thought it was a good interview. The only thing.
Did you hear what I said though? Did you catch what I said just now?
Yes, sir. I caught you.
You didn't say anything. You didn't say I got you, not a problem. You didn't say none of that. Just like
yes, sir. I got you. I got you.
All right, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. The only thing new or different that I heard in the interview was when she was talking about the patriarchy. That's the only thing that kind of threw me off, and in terms of me understanding what she was talking about or why she even brought up the patriarchy. She said the patriarchy was responsible for people in the church, pastors in the church that molest little boys. So I really wasn't sure what she was getting at with that. She also said the only thing I got from it was her saying that the idea of claiming of people claiming Egypt was a patriarchal thing. I'm trying to figure out why she thinks that, and why she would say the patriarchy is responsible for molestation in the church, like that type of stuff. Just like really kind of threw me off. And the way she answered the border question, she just kind of came off as if she would be one of those people that I would define as being a woke type of liberal, and I think that her view on Egypt, like her wokeness, is kind of reflected in that. Not that I disagree with most of what she's saying, but a lot of it, just the patriarchy stuff was just kind of weird to me. I really wasn't sure what her angle was with that, or was she just trying to downplay the people? I just thought, like, was she just trying to downplay people who thought Egypt was black by saying that you're being patriarchal and patriarchy is a bad thing? Because, you know, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think that the Egyptian society itself was patriarchal,
Huh.
but she wants to study Egypt from an anti-patriarchal, or she wants to have an anti-patriarchal movement, I think is what she said. I'm trying to figure out what she means by that. Do you find yourself to be part of that anti-patriarchal movement? Do you know what she's talking about? Can you expound on that a little bit?
Did you hear me explain it, or you missed my explanation?
I may have missed it.
Yeah, I felt like even when you read the biblical text, it's the patriarch movement, because ain't no God in there woman at all. The women are actually left out in the thinking of the whole thing. It's a male thing. So when you make a statement like Adam is made first, that's a man thinking like that. That's how you feel as a man, that you supposed to be first, right? And then when you say, then God made a helpmate, you relegating a woman to like second place, right? That's not a real balancement right there. That's not even how life actually starts. There's no male, female first. It's like androgynous, right? So you can see it, right? When God becomes a woman constantly, I mean a man, right? Where the woman becomes the helpmeet, right? And you know, Adam, this nigga, he just lonely. So let me give him a helpmeet. Make all the animals before the daggone woman, and then he lonely in the garden. Oh, and I'm gonna make a woman, and then I'm gonna take the woman out your rib. Once again, the woman need him. So that's what she's basically saying. This she's saying these groups that are claiming Egypt for itself is a bunch of men. That's the truth. The men are leading the way. Go ahead and give me 5 black women scholars. Now we're starting to get the black women scholars, but they wasn't prevalent, right? They wasn't dominant in the conversation. So she's trying to show you that we need to balance this thing out a little bit. That women are actually qualified to study these areas, right? And you know, it's important. So I understand what she was saying. Maybe everybody missed it and took it to be like she's some wild feminist or something. That's not how I actually seen it. I get what she's saying, that the whole biblical text is patriarchy, the whole movement towards Egypt being called black is a bunch of men arguing and screaming, including my damn self, right? And so I got what she was saying. So maybe that wasn't a good place you felt for her to interject that, but I got exactly what she was saying. So I mean, everybody not gonna get that, right? And you know, that's all. We won't have that conversation again about the feminists. I think it's time. We had a great show, right? Had people fighting over that. So, you know what I mean, over what the woman role is. Should she be barefoot in the damn kitchen? Should she cook the food? Like, you know, in my head, you thinking the woman's supposed to do all the cooking, but then, you know, they say men are the best chefs. You know what I'm saying? So, like, where is it? And I think this battle will go on forever, man. And I wouldn't have used it, but when she used it, I understood what she was saying. But that don't mean you would get it. That might have threw you off, but I can keep my mind focused on, did Kemet mean black people or not? And she was like, no. And she talked about the soil and talked about why the soil was important and how outside people, you know what I'm saying, came in and say, wow, like they can just grow anything. So that's what it was for me, though, American Dream.
Yeah, if I could just ask, you know, the only thing I can think of asking is, what do you think, from what she said, what do you think she said that was new, that the other side would hear it and say, okay, that's something that we haven't heard before that we need to consider, because I think that it's good that we're bringing in experts, or that you're bringing in experts to to say what you're saying, and they're not able to do that. But I just don't know if them hearing it from the experts is going to make much of a difference to them. They're just somehow going to turn it around and say they're saying what we're saying. And at some point, you know what I'm saying? At some point, do we move on? Do we take on another issue, or do we just beat this horse until it's past dead?
well, I'm with you, American Dream. But in actuality, with the community of skeptics and the pseudo killers, we have a variety of shows. Actually, think about it. We got Social World, we got Juju and Space Age African Anthony, and then we got the Space Age African Astronomy Club, right? And they ain't talking about Egypt. I like to do it in the community of skeptics because I already knew I had the experts lined up. And I want to correct you with something. I don't know what the hell them damn experts is going to say when I bring them on, when I ask my question. But what I want to do is I want to be genuine and I want to show y'all that I'm going to say the same thing that I say with y'all. American Dream, you forgot, we went through that UNESCO thing and we found it incredible that these people couldn't actually read. You remember that? We was like, it's not even saying that. You remember that, American Dream? We was
Absolutely.
like, what? And then it came to a head when we start putting the shit in Chat GPT. You weren't digging in lately. But we really realized that the real crux of the conversation is that it's no comprehension. Like I had to break down what American standards of race was. Like they really didn't understand an American dream. So you're right, we need to move on. But people like to hear the conversation too. Two things going on. No reading comprehension, right? Don't understand nothing, and nothing that that expert would say would ever change their mind. Because, like we said, that anti-experts, bro, is a war against the experts. Death to the expertise, They don't even care, bro. Like you're not even an Egyptian guy and beat them all the way up. They comprehension ain't there, bro. And sometimes a lot of people don't be liking the shit you say all the time, right? I get mad when you like you said you pound a dead horse, but at least I comprehend what the hell you saying, yo. And I think in some spaces you do got merit in what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I be really here. I'm like, I hear what he say. I got him. There has to be a healthy balance in that. So, look, bro. Did she say? Yeah, I tell you what she said. New today that they've been lying about for years. That Kim don't mean the whole damn thing. Did you hear her say that?
Yes.
That was new. Makes sense.
That Chem doesn't mean what? That Chem doesn't mean
the whole land of Egypt. Did she get to that
Oh
part
no,
yet?
yeah, but that's something that we've gone over. That Kemet was just referring to the Nile Valley. That they were only talking about that part of Egypt. That's something that has been discussed.
They argued us down though about that, yo. She came and
Yeah, sure, absolutely. They're arguing us down about it. She just came in and repeated it, and she said it as well. Like when I first heard it, did I think it was a great point? Absolutely, but it's stuff that I've heard before. Again, is it good to hear the experts say it? Yes, but from our readings, we've always known that this is what the experts thought. And at some point, the idea of her bringing in the patriarchy and how that's related to the topic, that may be like a different room in the Black Egypt house that we can go into and dive into another aspect of Black Egypt in terms of the patriarchy and just have a different type of a conversation. It's just that in my view, we kind of stay in one house in the Black Egypt mansion.
Yeah, I get it, but I couldn't tell what the lady what to say. You know what I mean? I didn't have the rig answer. We didn't have a pre-interview. Don't mention that. I mean, it was what it was, yo.
Indeed.
All right,
Thanks
man.
for letting me in, though, man.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Blessings.
All right, peace. Okay, let me continue this. All right. See what she got to say here, and we moving on. We're at about 2 hours and 30 minutes. Let's finish. Let me get this out of here. Did you want to say something, Miss Tiff? Or you good?
No, I'm good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think it's time to revisit that conversation, though. I think that.
Yeah, get up the troops. I'm with you. I heard y'all had a good one, sword fight.
Oh yeah,
man, get y'all tickets for the Discord, man.
Caught a few body bags in there.
Oh, she talking trash on y'all. Oh, are you saying there's body bags laying around? Let me see. Hell no. I don't believe that. You had the great Kent, the great Marcus.
Mm-hmm. I got him.
The great where my man?
Hey Marcus, where you at? No, I'm just playing.
That man never show y'all tripping. Wild out. All right, here we go. Let's finish it.
Are you sharing something? We don't hear you. You're muted. You're muted.
No, I didn't put this on. My fault. This
Oh,
thing,
okay.
I don't know why I stopped. Thought I had it on there. My fault. Yeah, I can mute out. I'm mute out now. You're gonna be able to hear it.
Land black. They called it Kemet, but they didn't. They did not call themselves black, and there is a reason. And the reason is, it's only part of Egypt. One reason I don't use the term Kemetology, for instance. Because it's a reasonable thing. You're like, but it's Kemet, so I don't get it. If you're doing Kemetology, you're only studying the people who live along the Nile Valley, for instance. Because it's a reasons called their land black, but they didn't call themselves black. Divine figure was associated with fecundity, new life, this black earth of Egypt. So the Egyptians called their land where the Nile Valley flooded black, but they didn't call themselves black. And then one more thing, when people
hold on. That's important.
Which part?
Well, you said that they call the land black, not themselves. Say that again, please, for the people in the back.
Okay, so the Egyptians called their land black. They called it Kemet, but they didn't call, they did not call themselves black. And there is a reason. And the reason is, it's only part of Egypt. One reason I don't use the term Kemetology, for instance. Because it's a reasonable thing. You're like, but it's Kemet, so I don't get it. If you're doing Kemetology, you're only studying the people who live along the Nile Valley. You're not studying you're not studying the peoples in the desert. You're not studying the people in Nubia. You're not studying the people who are part of different worlds and going in and out. And the desert is not like just this Saharan space of nothing. The desert is a place full of life and herding possibilities and mining and quarrying and people's moving in and out. And that's Deshret. That's the red land. So if I'm saying, oh, I'm in, I understand that Egypt as a word is a totally ridiculous post-colonial concept. I get it. But because Egypt is such a complicated place, and because the people in the Nile Valley were like, yes, we're the land of the Kemet, but then would go out and try to take over the land of the Deshret, of the red, and would claim both. Who am I to say that it's only Kemetology? I can't. And who am I to say that Egypt is only Kemet? It's not. It's much more. And I don't want to do disservice to the Pangrave people, to the Medjay people, to people that are part of Egyptian discourse but didn't live on the Black land. So it's a much richer conversation. And then, strangely, though this is going to piss some people off, using the term Egypt, which is a weird word that comes from Hut. Yeah, from the Coptic, from the Memphite temple, Hut Kata, and then you get a Egypt in there. And it's like a Greek understanding of a place that's just applied to the whole country, and it's stupid. I agree that it's stupid, but there's no better word that's going to combine the whole thing for us that's useful. So why not use a construct? Because the other words are so localized that they can only be used for particular places and cannot be used for the whole.
That's you know what you talked about. I love your explanation. Just one with that one. But you mentioned something. You mentioned Pangraves. I try to teach people that you find Pangraves all over Egypt.
Yeah.
Right near the Red Sea. And so the Pangraves are important. And also you talked about I say people are Nile centric, like they only study the temples near the Nile. I said you got the Eastern Desert, the Western Desert, everything you say. So I am glad that I have been reading enough that when I hear an expert that I'm not too far off. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Oh, so that's where I'm at right there, man. I'm at the 2 hour and 40-minute mark, man, with this interview, man. See a whole lot of wild people, man. But let me take this break, man, real quick, man. Man, put that Cash App in there, man. Go ahead and celebrate with me. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate with me, man. I'm enjoying my 57th birthday. Been a long ass motherfucking trip. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all, man. And I've enjoyed the voyage I've had with y'all and will continue to have with y'all. You know, I just enjoy being able to actually should I say read, comprehend things, and then go to experts to see how far off I am. What part of my game can I tweak? I always felt like, you know, this was the way to go. And I push forward and will continue to push forward, no matter how much tomatoes y'all throw at me, no matter how much discouraging words, no matter how many friendships I lose. I will continue to grow. And, you know, this day for me, being 57, it just makes me look back and say, man, yo, it's been a hell of a damn ride, man. I'm lucky to still be here. Fortunate. Most of y'all not going to have 9 lives like me. Walk outside and the car barely hits you, fall down, hit your head and die. Most y'all ain't going to get that. So this message is always for the young babies, man. Don't take the chances. Don't take the ruthless chances that I took. Don't put your life out there like that. Don't disrespect your body with putting foreign substances in it for years. Don't put yourself in roles that would make you have to keep a gun on you. Don't participate in tearing down a community with artificial stimuli. Like the man said that right, artificial stimuli. Yeah, don't put yourself in a situation, yo, for some money. To get money, we say we get money. Was it worth it? Hell no, it wasn't worth it. If I had to do it over again, I wouldn't do that shit again. None of it. It didn't make no sense. Hopefully, we can push this scientific approach, scientific literacy, so that we can have responsible parents that will raise responsible kids that will raise responsible kids. Scientific literacy will help us to have 2-parent households. How? Well, you need to study. We need each other at the end of the day, man. And I'm just glad to be amongst y'all, man. To put out this information so that y'all can follow me on my journey. My journey is detailed on YouTube. So I grew up on YouTube. After I finished selling dope, y'all see my development as an African. Not only an African, but as an African American. Not only as an African American, but a black and proud black American. And I say this because it's right here for me. Always been for my people, dog. Now I really know what it means to be for your people. If you're for your people, you're not giving them things that will put them in harm's way. You're not taking advantage of a marginalized community. You start to understand that people can be weak, very weak in their thinking. Don't take advantage of it. So the life I lived in those streets, I find the same things occurring right here. That people are taking advantage of the marginalized community. They're taking advantage of the intellectual property. They already know that people don't understand all this. No more different than the drug dealer understands that once a person get hooked on drugs, they're not really going to control it to the point where they don't spend money. That's the law of drugs. Like, people can't control the urge, so they spend money. The same thing with this, y'all. It's something about our thinking that stops you from controlling the urge. That's called discipline. So you can literally tell y'all any damn thing, and based off your level of comprehension, based off your level of upbringing, yo, you're going to be somewhere. You're going to be very vulnerable. And even if you're super smart, you can trick your damn self. And guess what? These dudes know that, and they take advantage of intellectual property. And that's why we say they're scamming. What are they scamming? They're scamming intellectual property because they know you are a marginalized community. They know you black and proud. They know you love the blackness. They know these things reign true. They know you fight against racism, white supremacy. So I'm saying this community is even more vulnerable than the African American community because y'all focused in on it. Oh, what tangle where we weave when we practice to deceive. And they know y'all focused in like this with the tunnel vision. And all they gotta say is blackity, black, 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 black. And brother uncle's against the black. When the whole time I'm pulling you closer and near to your ancestors in Africa because I'm giving you the truth, not based off what I'm saying, but based off of high-level study and high-level anthropology and high-level experts. And for that, y'all, they be hating. Hey, man, hit that cash app, man. I'm enjoying my birthday, man. 113,000 in the building, man. I'm glad y'all here, man. Y'all know what it is, man. I appreciate everybody, man. Juju, I see you. Jamaldi, I see you.
First things first,
Vanessa Bennett, I see you. All the money.
Gummies, edible place for the gummies. Gotta keep them coming. There's a roll of dice, but nothing better motherfucking move but the money.
Move the cash app money. Y'all know what it is, man.
But nothing better motherfucking move but the money.
But the cash app money. Hey.
But nothing better motherfucking move. First things first, I corner. All the honeys, dummies.
The honey.
Edible place for the gummies. Gotta keep them coming. There's a roll of dice. Nothing better motherfucking move but the money.
But the cash app money.
But nothing better motherfucking move but the money.
The cash app money, y'all know that, man. Show that love, yo.
Motherfucking move.
Man, get them lights up.
Shoot
Boy, happy birthday. You know what it is, yo. Me, yeah.
Yeah, let it shine. It's the kid choice.
Yeah,
my humble pie was a bit more.
Be yourself.
Hey. Told me to do it big, bro.
Do it big, bro.
The niggas ain't did it how you did, bro.
How you did, bro?
Ain't living how you live, bro.
How you living? We living. 57. That's how we living.
Speaking the light every time that I speak in the mic. The electrolyte, Peter light that's giving you light. See what's done in the dark, go come to the light. Hell raising, you taking.
Hey, hell raising, yo. What you do in the dark gonna come out in the light. When them experts from 3 ethnicities, African American, Chinese American, Irish American, what's done in the dark gonna come into the light. Y'all know what it is, man. Yo, hit that cash app, man. Hit them likes, man. Like and subscribe to Community of Skeptics, man. That's DQ right there, man. Hit his cash app. You know I showed it in the show, man. Look, man. Man, look. I want to end it with this. I gotta go quick too. Gotta go dancing with my daughter. Let me see. I would like to say this. Why the black is so important. Let's see. Why is the black so important? Why is black so important? Let's see. Let me find this, okay? Because in reality, let me refresh my screen. In reality, y'all, the black is actually important to the Egyptians and to the African Americans. Let's talk about that. I wanted to always drop this piece on y'all, right? So y'all can get it. Like, I understand the importance of black. So let's come to our favorite tool these days. Chat GPT, point 4. Man, shout out to AI. You know what I'm talking about. Hits. What did the color black mean to Egyptians, and how important was it to that ancient civilization? Nah, I don't want to hear that one. Here you go. What does the color black mean to African Americans? So right here, we got 2 things, right? What did the color black mean to the Egyptians, and how important was it to that ancient civilization? And then we got, what does the color black mean to African Americans? Well, let's see what the color black means to African Americans. The color black holds significant, complex meaning within the African American culture, reflecting the rich tapestry of history, struggles, and triumph. It has evolved over time, embodying various aspects of identity, reliance, and empowerment. Let's not forget that. Nigga like me was born in Black History Month. Ha! Yeah, don't get no better than that. Historical and cultural identity. Black is a symbol of shared history and heritage amongst African Americans, connecting them to their African roots and diverse cultures of the African continent. It represents a collective identity that has been shaped by the journey from the past to the present, including the transcontinental slave trade, the fight against slavery. I'm going to say it again, the fight against slavery and the ongoing struggle for the civil rights and equality. Listen, keyword, the ongoing struggle for civil rights and equality. So don't get that twisted. Like, I don't know what the hell black mean to us. Reliance and empowerment. The color black has been embraced as a powerful symbol of resistance against oppression and racism. See, so y'all think I'm taking that away from y'all. No, I'm not. I'm actually supporting you in this. It signifies strength, assertiveness, and a refusal to be defined by the negative stereotypes historically associated with blackness. Remember, I told y'all that. The Black Power movements of the 1960s, the 1970s, for example, used the color black to symbolize pride, unity, and empowerment amongst African Americans. Man, y'all already know I came up with my own thing, Black African Power. So don't tell me I ain't been on this. I've been on this, dog. Pride and cultural expression. Black is also a symbol of pride. That's why y'all mad in this fight. That's why we lost friends, because y'all been miscomprehending what we've been saying. Black is also a symbol of pride and African-American identity. Y'all think I'm attacking your identity when I'm actually talking about indigenous population on the continent of Africa. Man, oh man, oh man. And cultural expression. It celebrates the beauty, the creativity, and reliance of African-American community. This is evident in fashion, art, music, literature, where black often features look prominently as an expression of self-affirmation and cultural pride, solidarity in the community, political and social movements. In summary, the color black to African Americans is multifaceted, encapsulating a blend of historical depth, cultural pride, political activism, and community solidarity. It is a powerful symbol of identity, reliance, empowerment in the face of adversity. My favorite question right here. Is the meaning of black in African American culture similar to the meaning of black in the ancient Egypt? The meaning of the color black in the African American culture and ancient Egyptian culture share some similarities, particularly in their positive assertions and symbolic depth. But they also reflect differences in shape by distinct historical, cultural, and geographical context. The similarities, what's the similarities? The symbol of life and renewal in ancient Egypt, black symbolized fertility, rebirth, and association with the life-giving silt of the Nile River. Similarity to African-American culture, black can symbolize reliance, renewal. See, we're renewing who we are, reflecting the community's ability to overcome adversity, like get born again to the point where you're aware of the oppression around you, know how to fight back. Yeah, y'all know what it is. Overcoming adversity and renewal itself through struggles for civil rights and social justice, culture and historical identity. Both cultures embrace black as a symbol of identity and heritage. I'm going to say this again. Both cultures embrace black as a symbol of identity and heritage. From ancient Egyptians, it connects, watch this, it connected to the Nile fertile land and their understanding of the afterlife and rebirth. For the African Americans, black represents a connection to the African roots, shared history, pride, and cultural heritage, empowerment, and resistance. Black is both contexts, can symbolize strength, power, and resistance against oppression. Ancient Egyptians saw it as embodying life and the power of rebirth, while the African Americans have used it to express unity, strength, and difference against systematic racism and the differences. Cultural foundation. Ancient Egyptian meaning of black is deeply tied to their environment, y'all, and their context. And I would argue that our similar blackness is deeply tied to our environment that was produced by racism and white supremacy. Tied to their environmental context, fertile soil, religious beliefs, association of deities like Osiris and Anubis. In contrast to African Americans, African Americans, significance of Black emerges from the historical, social, political context, including the legacy of slavery, civil rights movement, and ongoing struggle for equality. Cultural expression, while both cultures find positive meaning in Black, the ways they express these meanings differ. In ancient Egypt, Black was integral to art, mythology, burial practices. For African Americans, it manifests in modern cultural expression like music, fashion, literature, and political activism. Evolution over time. The meaning of Black for African Americans has evolved significantly over time, particularly in response to historical events and movements. In ancient Egypt, the interpretation of Black remains relatively stable, anchored in their stable agricultural and religious practices. Y'all be trying to take away their Africanness. In summary, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in with this. In summary, there are similarities in how Black symbolizes life, identity, and empowerment in both cultures. The meanings also reflect each cultural unique histories, geography, and social challenges. The positive assertion with Black in both contexts highlights the universal potential as a symbol of strength, renewal, and reliances, man. And man, with that, man, I appreciate everybody coming through, man. This is what we doing, yo. This how we do what we do around here, man. We hit them with the Black African power, man. And as y'all throw tomatoes and talk crazy and talk trash, yo, yeah, I'm here, yo. Call me what you want. Call me the gatekeeper. Call me this, call me that. What you can't say is that man is scared to voice his ideas in front of people that's more qualified than him. Y'all was flim-flamming, bim-bamming in front of those African-American experts that y'all claim supported y'all. Y'all couldn't even get it out.
Flim-flamming. Sorry.
Started rapping.
Woo. Anyway, I'm gonna go back on mute.
I am appalled that you would argue with me for 3 years and afraid to have a conversation with your real opponents. Cowards.
You're muted. You're muted.
I know I'm muted.
Oh, okay.
Hey. Man, upgrade y'all thing, man.
Happy birthday, God Killer.
Tap, tap, tap on your touch screen. Every single day, the same routine. You click refresh once again, and I got the same thing. Tried everything I could do. At this point, I have no clue. I gotta tell myself the truth.
Yo, hit that Cash App or DQ, man. Y'all know what it is. Man, upgrade y'all information, man. Man, y'all know what it is.
Knowing me, I'll probably be in a toxic relationship. You on top of me. If the topic is truly timeless, the conversation should be how I'm and regaining my peace. Shout out to my Virgo women cooking the feast. Got a Pisces, stay in the hood, that girl a freak. Can't lie, certain Geminis ain't for me, but it's on key, cause certain upgrades cost a fee. Yeah, so we can slide and glide. I know you want it. Known to provide the vibes, the moment. Hit the clubhouse, then clubhouse to the morning. Fall in love with the mind, the body is just a bonus. Careful with what I'm searching, Siri be taking notice. All the pictures I'm liking, algorithm is golden. Melanated the lightness, all these women get chosen. Hershey kiss to the forehead, yeah. Tap, tap, tap on your touch screen. Every single day, the same routine. You click refresh once again, and I
Upgrade. Look, man, upgrade y'all life, man. Look, man, I'm glad y'all could spend this weekend with me, man. My birthday, man. I appreciate that, man. I'm out here, man. Look, check this out, man. When you come at me, man, better finish me off. Y'all miss. So I don't know where the conversation's going to go after this, man, but I know we got them on all fronts. This is a threat. Don't make me play that last interview. I dare you. I double D dare you. I dare you. With that, man, thank y'all for listening to the Community Skeptics, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Probably going live tonight, man, on the Pseudo Killers, man. And with that, we out. Black African Power, Pseudo Killers on deck, Community Skeptics. We are skeptical of human beings. That's why we bring in the experts. Peace, prosperity, and I'm out.